Dear chess friends, welcome to the FIDE Candidates, Women's Candidates Tournament, and today is such an electrifying day. We are going to commentate the first tie-breaks of the event. I think it's such an intense day for the players, but such a thrilling show for our viewers, the spectators, and the whole chess world.
So especially it will be already quite a few games, 4 games tie-breaks, so it's not little.
So Igor-Alexandre Nataf here with me, as usual, as I told him that, I was born in the Soviet Union, so when you are becoming a pioneer, so you're asked the question, are you ready? You have to answer so we are always ready. So we are ready, and let's have a look at the results of the semifinals. So if you're joining us right now, you will know what is going on in the tournament. You have the players of this event. Lei Tingi won her quarterfinal against Maria Muzichuk, and she's waiting for her opponent in the semifinal, which will be decided in this tiebreak between Hampu Koneru and Anna Muzichuk.
Yes, and both won first games actually, but Anna Muzichuk managed to level the score yesterday by winning a very nice game in the Petrov. She improved on game 2, and she did quite a good job in the opening preparation this time, and yeah, she won a clean game. So my expectations will be that maybe Umpi will still play a Petrov, but she would change this queen d7 of Nepomniachtchi.
So Anna Muzichuk won on demand, forced this match into the tiebreak. So you have the system on your screens. 4 games with time control of 15 minutes plus 10-second increment per move starting from the move 1. Then, if there is still a tie, 2 games of 5 minutes plus 3 seconds increment. And then, if there is still a time, players will play 1 game, 3 minutes plus 2 seconds. And if there is no winner, they will continue until someone wins this match. And before the match starts, let's have a look at the players' head-to-head score. I think that after yesterday's classical game...
she's +1 in all time control.
Anna is, she's leading by a +1 score in every time control. Classical, rapid, and blitz.
Yeah, but they played a lot of games, so it's not that relevant, actually.
And please have a look at their ratings in all disciplines. So the first one is classical, the second one is rapid, and the third one is blitz. And yesterday I was completely shocked by Anna's rating, because I know that she was having an incredible rating in rapid and blitz, and I just had a look at the results. Actually, a few years ago she was over 2600 in rapid, and
yeah, because here it's pretty low compared to their classical rating. Both of them, they are playing much lower than their standard time control.
Of course, but Anna had even 2615 blitz. Maybe. She lost 200 points in rapid and in blitz. This is somewhat of a worrying trend.
What we have to say is that it goes very fast to lose rating in blitz. For example, at the top level, Carlsen, he plays 1 bad tournament, he loses 100 points, and Vachila Graf the same. So in blitz it goes very fast.
Of course.
It's not the same like in long games where you need few tournaments to lose as much points.
And one last reminder of how strong these players are, that Anna Muzichuk was World Rapid champion in 2016, Hampu Koneru in 2019, and Anna Muzichuk even won the Blitz title at the same time in 2016, and she won a Blitz World Championship in 2014, quite a while ago. But those players are incredibly strong in each discipline.
Yeah, because you would not tell me that Umpi would win the title in 2019. I would think that maybe as a positional player she has problems in rapid, but okay, she was world champion in 2019 in rapid chess, so it means she can play. Okay, Petrov, we will see you again. Again, the same line. My guess is that they will not repeat this queen take d7 of yesterday, otherwise...
Yes, knight bd2 is played. It's a repetition of the repetition.
Queen d7 was a computer move that brings a lot of problems.
But we already analyzed this move knight d2 a little bit in during the second round.
The Stern game, Caruana against Grichuk against Caruana for from the candidates 2018, which was improved by Firouzja's bishop e2. Bishop e2 quite, some 2 years later.
But then in a more recent game, Alireza Firouzja played against Evgeny Nair, exactly the same setup as Anna.
Bishop e2 is what I just said, yeah, he improved on move 13. Okay, we will see, maybe they will get the same game.
And bishop g4, this is still theory.
But at least they understood the story and they don't repeat again and again and again this queen d7 of Nepomniachtchi. Let Nepo play it, if he managed to do the snake in this position is good for him, but it's not a great position with this queen d7 that she played in game 2 and 4.
Igor, actually there was a slight deviation because normally black plays knight c6 and then bishop g4, and Hampi delayed the development.
She has maybe an idea about such details in general. There is an idea. If she plays bishop g4 instead of knight c6, maybe she's afraid of h3 first, or I don't know.
Okay, now it's
now they are back, but maybe it's a detail where if you play knight c6, maybe h3 is unpleasant, I don't know. Are we still in the game? Rook e1 was played.
Yes, so it's just a trump position compared to the traditional line. Knight c6, castle, and bishop g4 is the...
Now they go h3, I suppose, or rook e1.
No, first rook e1, then queen d7, and only then white played d3. So let's see. But okay, we have exactly the same position on the board.
No.
h3, bishop h5, queen d7.
No, bishop f4, like in the other game. So we are following all those games. Grichuk against Caruana and Firouzja against Nair.
And so against Yu Yangyi.
Yeah, Yu Yangyi, yeah, okay. Who is a specialist in the Petrov as well.
Okay, let's say the two recent games.
Everybody went queen e6 here.
And especially like...
And she introduced the e6 novelty, actually.
So both games were won by white. That's why I think Hampi Conero...
No, Caruana won the game with black.
No, I mean the recent.
The recent games, yes.
Yes, so
but in the first game of this, in this variation, black won after queen e6. Everybody here played queen e6. This a6 move is a novelty. She played it fast, so of course she looked at it with her team. And in Rapid it's also special because her coach, Anna Muzishuk's coach and probably his sister who got eliminated, they have to look what to do against a6 because between the rounds they will have to tell her for the next game, for game 3, what to do. I have this experience already with Raja, so you had to tell very fast your pupil what to do.
And the pace of these tiebreaks is somewhat a little different than, because normally you have a break. Here the round will start almost immediately after the end of the first game.
But will it be possible, let's say for round 3, to speak fast with your coach or not?
That was exactly my question, because I was not even sure if the coaches were allowed in a playing hall with the computer. So even
with the computer, no, but he can come from his room and say a few words for round 3, let's say. You just need 30 seconds. He says after a6 you put your pieces like this, you play this, and that's it.
If you compare it to the boxing or to the to tennis matches, you all have this 2-3 minutes. In tennis, the coach is not allowed to give the advices during the match.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm not sure, because this is a little bit different. And as you know, there is no Armageddon, so maybe the players do not have the right to consult their trainers after the end of the game.
They played a few moves. She played a4. Well, a4, it's a committal move, I have to tell you. It's a very committal move because you are weakening b3. Sometimes in some lines c4 is coming. Okay, maybe not now because... What was the move instead? It was queen e6 and then bishop e2? That's it?
Yes, queen e6,
just to
bishop
compare,
e2, of course.
It was queen e6 and now the new move was bishop e2.
Yes, played by
with those IDs, knight d4 or knight g5, yes. Like this, okay. Maybe knight d4, not knight g5.
So maybe queen e6 is not an ideal square. e6 is not an ideal square. Of course, you want to transfer your queen, but
But if you go queen e6, it's probably because you start to be afraid of some e6
Yes.
somewhere.
Normally,
Okay.
you shouldn't block with your queen, of course. I'm pretty sure that the players and their seconds analyze this position very deeply.
So they looked, first of all, the main moves of the computers, probably a3, bishop g3, all this they looked. And of course, they looked also what's going on bishop e2, which was the move after queen e6. Now it loses strength because the knight doesn't try to attack the queen tactically speaking. So
But Igor,
after here, you just play, I don't know, knight. Maybe you transfer the knight, no?
I like
d8
this
and
knight
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 e6.
e6.
I think this is one of the ideas.
You know what I wanted to say, that since Almira's Firouzja's game was played in 2021, meanwhile, probably the computer evaluation changed. So maybe not queen e6 is proposed by the computer, but the first line of the computer is now
probably.
a6.
And if knight d8, let me see why knight d8 will not work here. Because what?
Immediately.
It was g4. Let's say
Let's
bishop
try
g6.
g4, yes.
Because we have to understand, because one of the ideas of a6 is to go knight d8. I want to understand. Now e6, right?
Well, there are two possibilities, because if you take with the pawn, then we take on g6, and you have
Knight e5
this...
maybe.
Immediately knight e5.
This is
No,
the
I mean
idea.
if you take with the pawn first.
Queen d8. And now queen a4 check. And now you can understand why a6 was needed, because you would need b5 here. So this is very deep. I mean, this a6 move is in order to prepare this man of knight d8, knight e6, without giving these tactics e6, I mean g4, e6, and then knight e5 and queen a4 check. At the very end of the day, after queen a4 check, there will be some b5. This is deep, because I like to understand what's the purpose of such small move. I mean, a6 is not for painting, you know, it's just...
Of course, no, this is very important. I also wanted you to show that knight e6 is a possibility, and we have to show that f takes c6 is another
You mean
possibility.
in the other line? Because a6 prepares knight d8, which knight d8 doesn't work so well immediately due to g4,
And of course,
e6, and if you take with the pawn,
Then-
always this knight e5.
or bishop g6 and knight e5
Yeah, but maybe
is
you will
winning.
take
Yes.
with the, I don't know, you will take with what, with the bishop anyway.
Yes. I just wanted to show how devastating it is. You cannot take with the pawn,
Now
because
you
this
take
is
there, let's
completely
say,
lost,
and you
of
take
course.
there. And if rook take h3, let's say,
King g2, and
king
then
g2, and you will
continue.
start to trade with rook h1 now and
course.
enter. Okay.
So
This is very dangerous.
Let's have a look at the position, because I think g4 was played.
So
but-
she played, also it's rapid, don't forget, so you don't have all the time to think for 1 hour here. So she played a4, and now she played, you see this plan we said.
And
And now she's already okay, probably, if no e6. So after a6, she didn't get the positional ID behind it with white. So what she played now? She played g4, knight e6, she missed this. She was waiting bishop g6, e6.
is the
And she missed knight e6 in between move. After here, there was this move. And after this, there would
Knight
be
e5,
knight
knight
e5, let's say queen c8. Now there is no queen
Take.
f4 check, but
Maybe we can take on f7, but I'm not sure.
can you take there, and queen d5 now?
Queen d5, of course.
And you cannot take there due to queen f7 check. Completely winning, and rook d1 and so on. So this was a nasty trick, but the problem is that knight e6 comes before. And now black is perfectly fine. So you see the importance of surprise effect. This was what I was saying in Maria Muzishuk's game. She had to play for such things. I mean, because you see, one move like a6, you don't get the ID. You play a4 because you think it's for b5, and in fact, knight d8 e6 is perfect, much better than a queen on e6.
Queen, bishop g6. You know, every time I think about the tiebreaks, it's like, if you survive the first game, it's like you avoided the guillotine, you know. But here, the tiebreaks are a little bit longer. You have 4 games, so even if something goes wrong in the first game, you still have 3 more games
Yeah, because
to
Almira,
recover.
what she says is that usually the tiebreak are only 2 games, and then you change time control. This time it's 4 games. But me, when I played in this World Championship, was in World Cup format, I played 2 times. I played tiebreak all the time. And always it was, I think it was 4 games. Against Nigel Short, I played 4 games. remember.
There's been quite a while that we played 2 rapid games. I think there was a different, it was 25-10 plus 15, so that was the difference. And now we are only playing 2 games, and
it's 15 minutes,
yes,
yeah.
of course, 15 minutes plus 10 seconds is still enough to solve your opening problems, and
Yeah.
you have to be careful.
Which is the problem of Blitz, because Blitz you just don't have time to think about how to solve opening problems. You think one time, you are dead. Here you can think.
So bishop f5 was played after bishop
Okay,
g6.
for me, opening is more or less a success for black. I mean, he's not better, she's not better with black, but I mean, she has a normal position, which was much better than what she got with queen d7 from the game 2 and 4. So I think that for her, it would be good if her coach say what to do after this a6.
Now let's have a look just one move before queen c6.
She put bishop f5.
No, bishop f5. Okay, let's
Yeah, but she doesn't want to. Of course, you never take there where you open the rook, and you will give castle long, and black is very much better here. The bishop is restricted by this pawn. Okay. No.
I also had a look at Anna's
And you don't want also
Mizicuk
to give bishop take d3. So
recent
bishop.
score in tiebreaks. So she won against Nana Dzagnidze during the World Cup, and she lost against Tan Zhongyi. So these are the only tiebreaks results we have so far.
She did in her previous World Cup, she didn't have any tiebreak.
But that was the previous World Cup.
No, but before this one.
Before, no, that I don't remember. I looked for the past 3 years, because then there was the pandemic, so the 2021 World Cup is the last one.
Yeah, of
to
course,
date.
what is interesting is to have a statistic in general, last 10 years, what she does in tiebreak. But, okay,
Well,
it's
you might
quite a
not
joke.
play all the time, the tiebreaks. That's
Yeah, but when you go far in a World Cup, you may have quite a few, I must tell you.
so. Let's say the current women's world rapid champion is Alexandra Kostyniuk. She won the World Cup as well. So she has this ability to concentrate her will during those matches, even though they are very short. So yes, I wanted to have a look at this position after bishop f5. So was queen c6 necessary? Of course, it's very natural to unpin, but maybe you can castle or do something else. h5 is a little bit dangerous. Yes, you should castle, maybe.
She played what? a5, I don't like it.
Maybe it will come to the same thing. If you castle, then a5. I always want to...
She wants
finish
before, right? If I castle, I can castle short or long here. Both are playable, I think. If you go there, I think white will start to open like this. And the point is that if you start to go there, knight d4 is coming. This is very unpleasant. So if you open, it's also not so pleasant. I mean, you will play this. Rook c1 is coming. I mean, king b8, knight d4, things like this. And if you take on d4, then the pawn will run with e6 check one day. You know, I will take first back on d4. No, I think here maybe something like this.
But
And
even
when
this
you start
position
to
is
take
extremely
there-
complicated. I mean, with the opposite castling, you
I mean, you are
be
playing
very
with fire a
precise.
bit.
Yes, of course.
It's not what you want to do. In general, you will judge castle long before like too dangerous. I mean, if c4 is not working, closing the lines, you will judge it as too dangerous. So maybe you will go castle kingside. And if you think you will plan castle kingside, maybe you will play an intermediary move like rook d8 or something before and castle next.
But you know, Igor, when I was looking at this position, I wanted to propose h5 without too much conviction, because I was thinking with the queen on d7, if there was a possibility
Actually,
to play h5, but
it's not-
Humpy played it.
It's not stupid because the knight is controlling the entry point. So, I mean, this position here is not bad. You cannot remove the knight as you wish. It's interesting. Is it the game?
No, she played h5, and I think
It's a very interesting
Anna
move because
Muzichuk
normally
still
you will
thinking.
not play h5 due to bishop take g6, queen c2, things like this. But the fact that she managed to put this blockade on e6, according to Nibzovic, is the best blockade, and you understand why? Because the knight is the best blockade because it doesn't get limited by the pawn that it blockades. I mean, it blockades e5, but it's still working at full regime.
Of course.
While other pieces would be restricted. Rook or queen would be restricted by space by this pawn on e5. The knight, not at all.
And that's why we were discussing that the queen is not, you know,
A good
the
blockade. Just
the best piece, you know, to be on
the
e6.
worst, no?
Yes, yes. And so that's very strange because probably that was the move suggested by the computer, but from the way that we were taught at the beginning, this would be not a natural move for us at all. Queen e6. I would never think about this move.
Yeah, this queen
at
e6
first.
of Caruana, it was a bit like this queen e7 of Nepo. I mean, this is the new modern chess. Maybe phenomenal players like Nepomniachtchi and Caruana, they can handle those positions. But all the normal players who follow up, I must tell you, they don't have the same abilities to play those positions. Computer has the ability. Top 10 players have the ability, but the rest, believe me, play more normal chess than this.
This is somehow the feeling that I have about Fischer random chess. You know, like I still didn't finish, you know, all the openings from the classical chess, and I think there's still so many things to learn. But right now we have a Fischer Random World Championship, which is going on in Reykjavik, and all the top players are participating, of course. So, I wonder how they feel about how do you
I
like
think they
Fischer Random? They enjoy
well,
it?
what I noticed with Fischer Random, at first I was not interested at all, but then I was, you know, I was a YouTuber for some time. I had like 7,000 followers or something in French mostly. And I commented some games of Fischer Random Chess, and I noticed one thing. At first I was not interested at all, but I had to comment, so I commented. And I noticed that around move 10 and 12 maybe, you have a normal chess position, all the time. So it starts like big nonsense, and then at move 12 around, you have normal chess position. So in fact, it's enjoyable.
Igor, a few moves were played on
Yeah,
the
so
board.
she didn't want to take on g6. She didn't want to give this extra dynamism, because it's also, you think that it may be some scattered structure which is good for white, but for white. But the point is that there are still the queens. The king is there. It's on where there are those open files, and black gets a lot of dynamics. There is not only the pawn structure here. There are the files that are opens, and you will not have the time with white to stabilize the position and play for the structure. Here, the dynamic factors are much more important, actually.
And
you
you're
will have
already
problems.
under the attack, you know.
And you are under the attack. So here, black is better despite the pawn, the double pawn. So I mean, you should not be blind by the double pawns and the structure.
No, I understand this queen c6, especially in this position after bishop g6, f takes g6, you'll play d4, and this rook h1 x-ray, you know, queen c6. So
Probably,
yes,
because now that there
course.
is g4, queen c6 is a good position for the queen. It has an eye, it has this potential of d4. And no, just what we had to see before looking queen d3, what she would play after take, and let's say queen c2 or queen d3, which would attack the pawn. Probably she would sacrifice it, yeah? Castle long or even castle short with the tempo, maybe.
You can even castle short.
You can castle
And
short.
you attack the knight
And
on
the
f3,
point
of
is that
course.
after this, your move comes under,
D4.
I mean, maybe even rook take f3.
Rook f3 first, yes, and then d4.
Queen
is-
e4, knight g5 check.
Okay, let's
You
show
cannot
this,
protect
of course.
because knight g5 check. It's extremely dangerous. Okay, let's see what happened. So queen d3, she decided not to open unnecessary files. In Spanish, there are some maneuvers like this for white. G4, you chase the bishop on h5, then bishop f5, then
yes.
queen c2.
But then you need to keep
Yeah,
this
but the
bishop
king is
there.
already there, and so you know exactly where is black king. Here it's flexible, which is good for black, actually. She took,
Just a small
c4.
variation, intermediate, so h takes g4. If bishop takes g6, simply you take on f3. Yes, that's to show it. So,
Yeah, probably.
And
Now
then
you come
you
back,
have
let's
to go
say.
back, yes, of course. And what to do here?
Knight
Castle?
g5 maybe?
Even knight g5 is possible.
Or castle long, I don't
Yes,
know. Knight g5 maybe.
I wanted to try castle long, but then maybe queen f3, so knight g5 is very interesting. And then you castle long, castle short.
You come back simply, yeah? And then bishop take h4. Yeah, you will open the flank, I mean. Yeah, okay, it's important to mention this. Okay, so she played take c4. In general, I don't like it because it gives the square, but I don't know, maybe you get some activity around here. Who knows? I mean. In general, c4 is you give this, but you get activity. You want some bishop c5 or sometimes knight c5. It's to get access to c5 for one square. You don't give by pleasure the d4 square.
Just so before c4, since it's a little.
Well, personally, I don't like the move.
Can we try castle
I prefer
long?
castle long or waiting.
And what happens after bishop g6?
I think she wants what to take. No, bishop g6 you will not do.
Yes, and d4, of course, yes, the same ideas. No, but now you can play c4.
Okay, and the difference is what, d4?
The d4, yes. And the
now
knight
Almira
is
is right. Now that you have removed the queen, now this idea of rook h1 mate is very...
Well, unpleasant.
d3 you can cut the coordination actually. I mean,
and you cannot play bishop before you will take.
Yeah, but queen take.
Queen takes, but d3 takes on c6, takes on c2. Okay, then maybe we should try bishop before. I like it.
Yeah, you can try
I can
this
take
and
the
take
pawn.
on c3. And,
Yes.
I mean, you are much better in everywhere.
No, but why can I take first? Rook c4. I understand.
Because if you take first, there is rook c4 check.
Yes, let's show
there
it.
is this, and whenever you move the pawn, all the time I have this x-ray check, and I will take the other one, and this is fine. Okay, so c4. Personally, I don't like it. I prefer long castle, b4, let's say c4. Now here, there is no b4. I am better simply. I don't know what about this c4. Okay, she played queen e2. Queen e2 is important because you need to have an eye on the knight, otherwise d4 is coming all the time. With queen take f3. Now bishop c5. And now what?
Well, you should castle at some point with black. So let's say rook. No, I mean bishop c5, queen e2, bishop c5. If white plays something like rook d1.
1 second, what is the difference? Here, d4. Maybe this was good because now you have this trick, but it's very hard to see.
Which trick?
You prevent queen take f3 and no more attack. In fact, by this move you are playing against the attack due to queen a4. It's extremely hard, especially in rapid. Because you see, here it doesn't work at all. When I do this, if you play queen a4, I simply take the knight. And it's over. While when I have still my king on e8, after your c4, this is this detail, queen c2, and now you don't have this d4, which looks like to win, for the same reason that bishop e4, I have always those bishop take, d3, and so on. Now you have this move, very strong.
The trade queen.
And you cannot go to queen take f3, you are pinned.
Igor, but normally when you play c4, I think the follow-up should be knight c5, and you have this b3 and d3 squares, but you don't have it because of knight d4 here.
Of course, now you give the
And
square.
that's a big problem because...
And even e6, I mean, be careful because this bishop g3 may come back to life.
But for me, this would be natural.
Actually, e6 will come next move. Because the queen has to go on c7, then e6, and it's a disaster. So it's for sure for bishop c5, which prevents knight d4.
It was played king g2, and black finally castled. So long castle was played.
Yeah. So king g2, long king g2. One of the ideas is to trade the rook. I mean, at least to contest the h line. Okay. So castle. because the pawn on e5 is protected at least 20 times, so I don't need 21 times, and I can go rook h1.
But now you can play knight d4 because your knight is pinned, but does it force you to take on d4 or
Yeah,
not?
but you didn't solve the problem of the knight e6, which is a great blockade. I mean, especially against a bishop pair.
So knight d4, bishop d4, c takes d4, or you will not
And
take?
now I will try to remain with my knight there. I think I take. Yeah,
Yes, you will
that's-
take. Let's see. Just to see how can we continue in this position.
Now, can you take on f5 and on d4? Or
Bishop
not?
f5, of course, and knight d4 is a very logical
I mean,
continuation.
you have queen g4, but it looks a bit...
But knight c2 is a fork. Can we
there is a
continue?
better move here, no? Or what?
But let's continue the variation, because I don't think that we should stop here. Knight
Knight
c2
c2.
is a fork. How do you continue here?
e6.
Okay, e6. But see how dangerous it can get and how complicated.
But your king is also trapped in the middle of the board, huh? I mean, just
Okay, let's see. d4 check I have here. What do you do?
f3 or something.
But would you enter this position?
If I... You know what? I'm threatening queen f4. If I have to, I would enter. If I have other possibility that will look nice, I would not. But it's also dangerous for him. Okay, knight e3 check looks like the move. You take, because it looks like you have rook d2 check coming.
So if queen f4, then rook d2.
Okay, but it's just a check. I will go
Yes.
rook here.
How do you continue then? Okay, let's continue for a few
Okay,
moves.
my queen f4 or he take f7. I don't know. Queen f4, let's say, to threat.
This position is completely crazy.
You will go rook d2 check. I will go king,
King
g1.
G1,
Then what move? Then it's your turn. You will start to run with queen d8 or what?
King d8, yes, that's the only move, of course, because queen b8 mate
Yeah,
is
but you
very...
understand that the position is... I take, let's say, I threat queen g5 check maybe.
This is very dangerous, of course.
For everybody, I have
Yes.
to tell you. And here actually, I may have, instead of queen f4, e take f7. You play check, I go king here, now what? I'm threatening queen take g7. Let's say you go, you don't understand, you go there, but if you don't understand, there is queen takes c4 check.
Yes, and queen c7, queen c8 mate.
Yeah, and this is mate, unfortunately, due to this move.
It's mate
Mate
already.
of the guéridon, we say in French. This is very dangerous. Okay, what has been played? Rook h1, rook take h1, rook take h1, d4.
So Anna didn't enter this crazy variation with knight d4. She decided to take the control of the h file. Or actually, Humpy decided to
But
give
the
it.
point, what I know from positional ground, is that this pawn on c3 restricts the knight e6, okay, which is also restricted by bishop, by the pin, but you can always go out from the pin by taking. I mean, so I will let the pawn here, and queen takes c4 looks like an option here.
But queen takes c4, then I can take on f5 and
knight
play
g5?
knight g5. Yes, I have to use
Do I have a defense then?
every piece in this position. You have to come back, queen e2.
And then you will start d3,
D3,
queen d1. Yeah, you have to, it's very
let's have a
concrete
look.
line, huh?
So queen c4, bishop f5, knight
Knight
g5,
g5,
queen e2 is
queen
or queen d3 is also a possibility. So because
queen e2, I don't like it
D3.
because of d3, huh? I mean,
queen d1.
can you play d2 and rook d3?
Yes, I
With the
think
idea
this
this.
is winning, of course.
Okay, I don't know, you have to come back.
But
You take,
queen, of
no,
course.
you take first.
No, yes, you take
And now you
queen.
play queen, and there is a pin actually. There is an absolute pin, we call it.
No, but you can also take and queen.
Yeah, but this is more beautiful.
Well, I go for this simple decision all the
Yeah.
time. It's too.
Take, and there is this marvelous pin.
And Anna went for the most concrete variation, of
She
course. She took on c4.
Okay, now she will, of course, take on f5 and knight g5. This is the first line. No? It's very concrete chess. What about time? Yeah, now we are in the danger zone. Huh? 4 minutes against 4 minutes. Their time management is okay, actually.
We should show that she couldn't take on on d4 because of bishop b5 and knight d4. Just
You mean here I cannot take
yes.
there because I will play this
First
in
take
between
bishop
move,
f5.
just one pin, and get my knight free. And now I will take back, of course, with the knight hitting there and there.
And this is a terrible
Yeah,
position.
so here you have to, of course, take there. And now she has no other choice than taking here and going knight g5. And here, from what we see, queen d3 may be the main move. I mean, if you take here, you should absolutely not go queen e2 due to d3, d2. You have to go there, even if you are under the rook. It's concrete chess. I mean, you have no choice. You have to do it, even if it's unpleasant to have the queen on the same file than the rook.
But then if you take on c3, you can take queen c3.
Don't forget one thing. I mean, if you manage to survive this, you are not bad. I mean, because you have a pawn up on e5, f5. White is a pawn up. I mean, black has to justify. She has tremendous activity, I agree. But she cannot do whatever she wants. I mean, even in lines like this. Because whenever, let's say, the rook moves somewhere, always I have some rook h8 check. I mean, you are a bit under...
and if king b8, you have e6 check as
e6
well.
check also, I mean, at the menu. So let's see what happens. So she took, she's thinking.
What, is there another option instead of bishop f5 here?
I don't know about the draw first. I mean, is it possible to offer a draw, or is there a rule?
No, I think during the tiebreaks you can.
No, because
And
I
in
already saw
general-
some tiebreak where there are 4 draws in 5 moves. And
Well,
in general, it's between sisters, brothers, and this when you have, or when you have some family playing in tiebreak. It can happen when you have 2 grandmasters in the family. Then, in general, they don't play the rapid games. They make short draws in 10 moves, and then they just play the blitz.
But in general, I think it also happens when you only have 2 games. Here, the tie breaks are much longer, and maybe one of the players thinks that she has an edge in blitz, but
but the other has to agree as well. In this
of
case.
course. So, but then
You are 2 when you accept a draw. Okay, so I asked the question because I know that in a classical games there are those rules. It's called Sofia rules from Bulgaria, because it's Danailov, the manager of Topalov, who introduced, he was an organizer as well, he introduced this rule in this tournament that you should not offer a draw before move 30. And in fact, it's a good rule, because some players were just making very short draws and trying to target the weak opponents, respect the strong ones, so they were making some no games when... so it's a good rule in general. It means that in classical games, you often have this rule that you are not allowed to offer a draw to your opponent before move 30.
But this is still the case in the individual events during classical games.
It changed, and before 10 years ago there was not this rule.
No, but now we, even during the team competitions, we play with the same rules, and you can only make a draw if there is a 3-fold repetition or a perpetual check before the move 30.
Okay. So now what? Now knight e4, I have to move the queen. Let's say I move queen c2. You will start
Knight
what?
d2.
Knight d2, let's say. I will come back
Where?
queen c3.
Ah, queen c3, but then it's a
It's
draw.
good queen
Yes?
c3 because you are pinning a bit the bishop c5. So, I mean, he cannot do whatever he wants.
But then I will force a repetition.
Okay.
Knight e4, so then it's a balanced position. It's a complete chaos on the board, but...
No, but black was very successful after the opening here. I mean, black was a bit leading all the way. So it's a good result for white, and not too...
But you cannot
Yes.
avoid the draw, I think, in this position. Do you have a better square of the knight e4?
Well, you have queen b3, queen c1.
But then knight d2 still.
No, then I have to come back, of course.
Yes, Anna Muzichuk is still thinking.
And black also has to take the draw, because there is... She has also a problem with the king, that she cannot hide on a8, because she has to go through b8, and then the bishop on g3 is waking up. I don't know, is she looking at some knight takes g3 or what?
No, it's white to move.
I mean, she will play queen c2, I guess. Now what? Knight takes g3.
No, knight g3 is very dangerous. What can you do after this?
Oh, but you may think that the king is not good. But
no, you can f takes g3.
maybe king take, no?
Oh,
To
this
keep the
is
barrier.
This is alpha 0.
Yeah, and it
move.
goes very fast. I mean, rook c1 or rook h4 is c4. I mean, white will win this. She cannot do it. She has to. Yeah, she played queen c2. I think she will come back on g5 or on d2, and they will repeat.
So after a very complicated battle, this is
Dynamical draw.
yes, this will be a dynamical draw. Yes, of course. So
Which is a normal result because also Anna played good in the defense. She found all those moves. Maybe she hurried. I think she had a pretty good position here. This c4, maybe let it go. It was a bit too direct. Castle long was very promising for black.
yes, I like castle long in this position.
This is too forced. I mean, here maybe you have to. Very long
And
forward
draw is
direction.
a very good result in the first game of the tiebreak.
Yeah, well, but when you see the game, you may have some small regrets with black. I mean, it's not so good result according to the position you had. If you take general grounds, yes, but
So players are repeating the moves, and I think there is going to be a threefold repetition.
no, this is reasonable. You must not lose your mind here. It's not reasonable to continue here for either of them. No, this was a good game. I mean, a good. Yeah, they understand that they should not push this position.
But how many times? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, 1 minute.
You see, the computer shows.
No, especially
draw.
Humpy has 1 minute, so I mean. Okay. So first game is a draw. Now we will see if they start immediately or if they have a small break. What will be interesting, it will be before game 3.
5 minutes, yes. I think there will be a 10-minute break, of course.
Between each game.
Yes, so this is
then
enough.
Then
yes.
they can speak with their second. Then it's another story. So I mean, at least her sister or his coach has to deal with this a6 now. But you know how it is. You have this coach that everybody sees, and you have some coaches home through internet. So who have in general a much better computer. Okay, so now we have a 10 minutes break between game 2. So we had, what can I say? She's surprised. She changed from the classical games by taking on d2. Actually, it's a very interesting line against the Petrov, I have to say. It's less forced than the rest. You still get all your pieces on the... Okay, you have one exchange, but... Yeah, e6 is the novelty. In fact, yeah, she played a4 because she said, okay, she thought, okay, she will play b5, take the space, then castle. No. The idea is just to go this knight d8, knight e6. So you have to deal with this idea, not with... Okay, I don't know what about the computer move, bishop g3 or a3. I see that he offers a3.
So you have the results on your screens. There was a draw in the first game of the tiebreaks, and while we still have a chance, we still have a few minutes, I wanted to get a closer look at the chessboard that we have at the studio. Igor, you know, these chess pieces, you know, belong to... They're coming from...
Fidel Castro from the
Fidel,
Olympiads
yes, from
in
the
Havana in
1966,
where
yes.
Fischer played.
We have here, I think, the inscription, Dr. Fidel Castro Ruz, you know, Prime Minister. So can you imagine what kind of relic it is, especially for us? And I think Bobby Fischer played in this Olympiad, yes?
Yeah,
1966. So we are going to show you more relics every day, and this is simply incredible. So how are the knights? You know, I like the knights. They're in good shape. Okay. What is your favorite piece?
I think he doesn't play every day with it at the chess club. It's not for blitzing, and so of course they are in good shape.
Okay, so let's...
But they are from wood or plastic?
Well, I would say that these are wooden pieces.
Sure.
They're very heavy.
No, but it looks.
It looks only, yes, but this is very nice work. So
Yeah.
craftsmanship. So okay, we should not destroy them because otherwise, I think they would really use a guillotine for us today. So the next game will start at 10 minutes to 4. We still have 10 minutes. We can make a break right now, and we will be back in 5 minutes
My
before the
question
beginning of the game.
Is it a fixed time for each game, or is it according to when they finish 10 minutes?
No, according to the game, when the game ends,
finishes.
yes.
Okay.
So we will ask more about the coaches. We'll ask the chief arbiter, and we will give you more information after the break.
Okay.
Welcome back to Monaco. We are so glad that you are following the women's candidates tournaments with us. The studio is set up in a very nice place in Cercle d'Échecs de Monte Carlo Chess Club, and here is the second game of the tiebreak between Hampi Koneru and Anna Muziciuk. Will they repeat, Igor, the same variation?
We will know in 1 second.
Will she go for c5 here or not?
I think yes. Okay, we repeat. Yes.
Let's have a look. There was one game which escaped my database filter last time, of course, and the players...
One second, we have just to repeat that they used this game, this opening and the exact opening and exact variation in game 3. And now she changed. She doesn't play queen take d4 anymore.
So she goes for another variation.
Queen a4 first, then she attracts something on d7 and queen take d4. Surprise effect, they understood a bit. It's good.
Maybe they were listening to you, Igor, finally.
Maybe their coach were listening to me, which is a good point.
So what is the difference? The white's conception is to say that the bishop on d7 is not
there should be
placed.
some detail. In fact, it looks like you have an extra tempo, but in fact, it's not the desired square for the bishop, even if you developed. So either you find some piece arrangement where the bishop stands very great on d7, then you want a full tempo, either you will have to replace it somewhere. Also, don't forget that you have a position with an isolated pawn, so she will try with white to stabilize the position and play for hours.
Igor, actually, when I looked at this line, I was looking more at the move queen d2 or bishop f6, I think was played, but this queen e3 surprises me.
Yeah, but it's maybe up to date. You know, with them, they have very strong seconds, very strong computers, so they may have worked this position wrong. And Humpy, I don't know who is the coach of Humpy, but probably some very strong Indian players. And they are known to be using computer very well. So
just show that there is bishop f6 possibility.
Yeah, but bishop f6 what? Knight takes d4?
Knight takes d4, this is forced, then bishop d8. Of course, I wanted to show this line.
No, what, knight take f3 check?
Yes, g takes
because if
f3.
knight c2 check, the knight will not go out, and I will end up catching the knight at the end, and I will have two pieces. I mean, for 2-3 moves, it looks like you will have an exchange down, but the knight will be trapped on a1. So you will finally lose it, probably.
So basically knight f3 here, g takes f3, rook takes d8, and a long castle. I just wanted to show you this position. I think this is one of the main lines after bishop f6.
Yeah, but this looks very good for black. I mean, you have this isolated pawn, but on the other hand, you have the bishop pair. He has double pawns. I mean, there is nothing at all for white.
I think the best idea maybe is to play here bishop c6, and if white plays e3, just show it. There is a very important positional sacrifice
But
once
Almira,
again.
this is just very good for black, whatever she plays. I mean,
Of course, no,
it's
but
just
wanted to show bishop c6, e3, and d4. That's
seems
what
like
I
this,
liked.
you
Yes.
give back and take.
And your bishops are very
No, I
powerful.
agree. It's out of question for white. This
But
bishop take f6 is bad. You have to move the queen. Queen e3 or queen d2.
of course, then queen d2 is a natural move, and this queen e3 is,
Well,
is very
it's a
interesting.
natural move, but you are under bishop b4. I mean, and queen e3 check wins the tempo. Actually, you are under. I mean, I don't know. Probably it doesn't work, but you are under d4 bishop b4 somewhere.
And
So natural.
But you see-
it has drawbacks as well. Huh?
you see, Anna is still thinking. So what did she play? Queen e3,
No,
bishop
d4
b6?
will not work due to knight take d4, but I mean, okay, after here, what is the move? Bishop e6 maybe, and then you trade d4. What, e3, bishop e7, let's say. Can I just go bishop e2?
Yes, you just finished the development. And
Yeah, but it cannot be so easy. I mean, black is a bit worse here, unless there is some knight e4 or something, but let's say h6. Now where do I go?
well, very often you have to ask yourself the question in this
because the problem
position,
is
if you
bishop-
take on f6 or
Yeah,
not.
no, but at first I want to play here, but here there
Knight
may be
e4.
knight e4. That may be the tactical problem of the line. Now I have to start to enter again those complications. You take, I take, you take, I take on f3, because if
f3
I take
check.
on f1, this is the same story. The knight doesn't go out, so I can go back with the bishop. I mean, probably here.
Maybe not on h4 because you have g5 and then knight g3.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So
If you
bishop
come on,
c7.
on h4, there is g5, and when you come back here, the knight will escape by taking your bishop. While here, I will go on d6 and finally on a3 or something like this. And the knight will be lost, and I will have two pieces for the rook, which is, of course, much better for white. So after take, I have to take back. On f3, you have to take. I will take with the f rook, I think. And now the question is, okay, let's say I go rook d1. There is d4. This is the problem, I mean. Now you have to calculate take, bishop b7. But don't worry, this job they do it home. Rook b8. And now you have this tricky move that makes all the line alive for white. So what's the problem of this queen d2? What is the theory?
But that's not the problem because you simply develop your pieces. White even has a choice to put the bishop on d3, but somehow it's not very popular.
Yeah, but it's very interesting. I mean.
But she went for queen e3. Okay,
Okay,
let's
see, this
understand.
is the game. The queen d2 so far. I mean, without my base, I think it's interesting. Queen e3 check. Okay, now the idea, there is one trick after queen e3 check. In case of bishop e7, now I take, and you are pinned. And this you don't want to play, of course. So you have to play bishop e6. Only move.
Knight d4.
Now she goes knight d4. Because the drawback of the queen on e3 is, of course, the fact that it blocks e3. Now I don't have e3 bishop e2, and I don't have time. Because now if I start to go queen d2, you go d4 this time. There is not the bishop hindering the queen. And when you move the knight wherever you want, there is bishop b4, which is winning. So bishop e6, she plays knight d4. Okay, probably she will play with what? With g3 next. Okay, she attacks on e6. Now what? She played bishop c5. Probably she did not know this position already. Yeah? What is the move here? Bishop e7.
After knight d4.
You have to know this, yeah?
Because
it looks like you give a pawn. But I am not sure you can take it. You are so bad with the development.
But why can't you take on d4 and then play bishop b7?
It's lost due to knight d4. This is very important.
No, but you don't take on e6. I think that...
Yeah, but at first it looks like after bishop e7 you just give the pawn. That's why I wanted to look.
But bishop f6 here, how do you take? With the g?
Because now if I take with the...
Now I can take and I will take on e6 with the check.
With the check, and I don't have time for d4 because I take back with check. And after this, these checks change everything. I mean.
You can still take g takes f takes, but once again, it looks very dangerous. Are you going to play this position? With black?
I am going to play this position only if I know the position. And I know that my comp says black is better, then I will play.
Okay.
If not, not.
But if you are seeing it for the first time...
Yeah, you have some, especially in rapid, I mean. You have some queen b6 coming, putting pressure. I mean, the most important is that this direct thing doesn't work. If it doesn't work, I mean, if I'm sure this doesn't work due to knight d4, I may play it. Because it's very important to... Okay, let's say g3 then. If knight e6 is not working, now queen b6. Well, it's not bad at all. I mean, you attack there, what, castle long, let's say. Bishop c5
Bishop
now.
c5 now, yes, and I think you're losing a piece.
Yeah, I mean, it's very interesting for black, but probably she saw that it's rare, and after knight d4, if you don't analyze before, you don't play bishop e7.
And she didn't want to take on d4 and to play bishop b7 because of queen a4, no, e3, but then you castle, why?
I mean here,
and bishop b7 here.
which looks like a human try, yeah? Okay, this she could play, of course.
Then e3, of course,
yeah,
and
but
castle.
how do you remove the queen? With rook c8?
Yes, rook c8.
Castle, bishop e2, yeah, but when you will play bishop here, I may
Bishop
play
f6,
bishop take f6.
So h6 first, so this is a very useful move.
If I go there, g5 is committal, I have to tell you. Maybe this is the way, but I mean...
No, I was not looking at G5. I
Well, you
have to
know,
admit
now in
this.
modern chess, with all those Ragozin and this becomes playable more and more. Rook d1, and the point is that you don't have bishop f6, I think, due to bishop e5, right? With a good position. And if you take first, then you open the line, I mean. If you take here.
I think Anna thought that after knight d4, queen d4, bishop b7, the position is
She cannot
too
remove
dry
it.
for her.
Yeah,
you know.
she has this isolated pawn. White managed to stabilize. She doesn't like it, maybe.
So once again,
She
she's
has
looking for a more active move.
Or to make a no game by theory. That's why she chose this line, like Ivan.
Okay.
This is the point.
Let's see, bishop c5.
So bishop c5, probably move by yourself. Knight take e6, bishop take e3, knight take, bishop take g5 now. This is all forced, yeah? Knight takes e6, b takes e6. Ah, now she played g3, yeah? e3 was also possible here. Cutting the bishop a bit. Rook b8 maybe. It was interesting. h4 to win tempo. b3, let's say. How about this?
You can always replace your bishop. You will play g6, bishop g7.
e2.
No?
Yeah, but I mean the two hanging pawns, yeah?
So knight e4 and rook c1.
Rook c1, there is d4.
No, but first knight a4. But maybe I can play d4 and
maybe
to
you
play
have to remove the bishop.
Yes.
Now rook c1, but now you may try some dynamic solution, yeah?
It's d4, rook d8. Now that you played g4, those pawns are hanging to rook d4, so maybe I have
Solutions
enough.
like this. Okay,
here.
still, I mean, I still have my pawns more. Something around there, okay, h3. I don't know how it is, but such lines are
Now I can
maybe-
simply play, I think, knight d4.
You see, the problem is that you cannot stabilize how you want, like b3, rook c1, and this. Always there will be some d4, pawn sack, to try to change the nature of the position. So, okay, she played g3. And now knight d7. Knight d7 is because she wants, in case she's attacked by h4, to go back on f6. She maybe doesn't want to play g6, weakening a bit. So, bishop g2, rook b8, b3. Maybe in this position, computer suggestion f5 is interesting because you put all the pawns on the white square. You prevent any e4 later, and you are disturbing a bit the bishop g2 by doing so.
If I castle here?
Now I can go bishop f6 somewhere. Maybe
Then
I
rook
wait a bit.
c1.
I wait a bit. Probably.
Okay, let's say you castle. Are you going to castle
I don't
first?
know.
If bishop f6, then rook c1. Okay, then if you castle...
I go g6, let's say. Play,
Okay,
let's say rook
e3.
d1 or what?
No, e3 I wanted to play.
Or rook
Just
d1.
a simple move.
Okay, I want to put my knight here if I can. So knight f8, knight c5, I don't know.
Knight c5, so rook c1 now after e3.
Knight e6, let's say.
And now I wanted to...
Knight a4.
Yes, knight a4.
And now maybe that's why I was
Making
not sure.
d7, yes, of
because
course.
if you cannot cut me with e4 before b5, I will be safe. I mean, there are three ways to play against my king. Either e4 you manage, either before b5 you manage, either a sack. If none of them is possible,
So if I play rook d1 here,
I would put the rook on c8 or something.
this is my last natural move, and
Can
then
I
I will
play
have
some-
to think.
I don't know where I put the rook actually. Here maybe it looks
Rook
natural.
c8.
But then bishop f1 maybe.
Bishop f1. No, I was looking for the ideas with e4 and bishop h3 and knight c5, you know,
Then
after
I
rook
can
c8.
put also on.
Oh, just
Let's say,
like
let's
this.
say.
I wanted to do it. Probably doesn't work. Computer will laugh at me, but I wanted to look at
e4.
e4. Yes, you take, and then okay, maybe bishop h3 doesn't doesn't work immediately.
No,
Ah,
because
no,
bishop C1.
yeah, I forgot. You see these long moves, you know, I forgot. We cannot play. So we need to prepare it. Maybe rook c2, and then to prepare it, of course.
No,
So
but
that
here
is-
maybe the best is to bring the knight like she did in game late in game. She played a similar way. She played knight b2, knight d3, or bishop f1. I don't know, but it's playable for both actually. f5 makes sense somewhere.
So what was played in the
She
game?
played king e7. I would prefer king on d7, you know. Now did she play e4? She could play e4, no? Or she was afraid of
Yes,
this?
I think she can play
She
e4
was
here.
afraid of this, but this I can make a blockade on light squares, yeah?
Yes, knight a4 and knight b2. This is
Now what, knight b2? Okay, let's
this
say
is
you
a
go...
much better position for
It
white.
depends if
What
you
do you
manage
think?
to open it with knight b6 and c4.
But I have a 4
I have
already.
f4, let's say bishop has to go here.
And anything now. I think rook c1.
Rook c1, we are concerned by pawn sacrifices.
And we
Which will
even
not
have
happen.
bishop f1 here, bishop somewhere.
And now you go there. Now what? Bishop h3. Rook c7. Knight d3, let's say.
No, knight d3 I don't
King
like.
e2 then.
Yes, I prefer king e2. I don't want you to give c4. So
And
this
if g5, king f3. This looks much better for white, actually. Those blockades are very important. For the one who wants to play better the blockade, I advise you to read Nimzovich's book, Die Blockade.
okay.
It's not a very recent book, but it's from 1920, but that's good. Okay, let's see the game now. King e7, castle. So she may have missed e4. You see, the most important are not the moves, it's how to play the structure, actually. The structure you have to kill by e4, you know. That's why my f5, actually, from the move before.
And she actually played the
It's very interesting practical move, this queen a4 check. I mean, MP came with ideas today. f5. Now she plays it, she understands it. It's Anna
Yes.
who understands now this. e3. Okay, now I think she's more or less fine. Huh? Bishop f6 is coming, rook c1.
This is the position that we analyzed, but the king is on e7 and not on
And
d7.
now she had to
yes.
play against the bishop. She has to change the nature of the position. She has to play this knight against bishop. All the pawns are perfect on white squares here. Remember Capablanca rule, who says when you have the knight, you must put the pawns on the color of the bishop to hinder his movement. I mean, because the piece strength of the piece is measured by the is measured by the movement it has.
Well, but then if you take on c3, of course, it's very important not to push c5.
Now here, of
Yes.
course, you keep the bishop closed. I mean, if you start to play c5, d4, you will have to review your positional basis a lot.
Yes, but we need
Or to take chess lessons.
we need to mention it, of course, because when you are taking such an important positional decision, bishop c3, you know what you are going to do next. So the pawns are staying on
Okay, so
d5
let's
and
see.
c6.
Rook c8. So she missed this bishop takes c3, and I guess you should not give it twice. I mean, knight e2 or knight a4. I don't know what is the best. Knight a4, you may meet what? You may meet... but the problem is you don't have knight b2, d3 anymore. Because, in fact, if I could choose my square, it would be d3 for the knight. So, when I go here, the problem is that both squares to go on d3 are restricted.
I mean, you can go
Knight
knight
c5.
knight e2, knight f4, knight d3.
Yeah, that's
yes?
why. I mean, here my two paths to go to d3 are restricted. c5 by the knight on d7 and b2 by the bishop on f6. So here the way would be knight e2 to go on f4. And if you restrict my path with g5, okay, it's weakening for you. So I don't know if I have to play f3 and something, or can I just play rook c2 to make my knight c1, knight d3 coming? I mean, this may be interesting.
Then are you going to leave your king on d6? Let's say even if you were playing
Well,
knight
the king on
e2.
d6 is interesting unless I manage to play f3, 4 at one point. So then your king may be in danger.
No, but when you're playing knight e2, knight f4, knight d3, even if I let you, then maybe my king on d6
Okay, let's say
is
you play a
ideally
move like
placed.
a5
Yes.
to take space, let's say. Knight f4. Now I go solid.
There's something.
You go knight d3, and now I will control your knight. Right?
That's what I wanted
Yeah,
to
it's possible.
see.
Now I will put a rook on the same file for sure.
Can
Now
I-
you wait. Okay, but you can wait by this. It's a useful waiting move.
But if I
actually.
play b4, you will play a3? Or?
Maybe actually, I will not allow you to.
I think this is
protect.
important to play
This
a3
is perfectly
here.
fine for black. One day I may have an exchange now, and this pawn will be hanging. This is the way to play actually. Yeah, this a5 is a move that prevents space taking, but it's also very popular against such a pawn structure. You want to give it, and then you get a pass pawn. I mean, even if at the moment it's on c6, then one day after some exchanges, maybe c5 will come, you know. So let's see.
What did she play?
She played rook h, c8, bishop h3, your move, g6. Now rook f d1. Okay, I think black is fine, normally. I like black.
But if rook d1 here, you allow bishop c3 once again. So what do you think? Hampi and Canary understood that Anna Mizicuk will not take on c3, so she leaves the knight on c3.
Maybe she didn't assess correctly that take on c3 was good, I think. What she missed, I don't remember what she missed. Because here f5, I mean, here this is fine. I think...
She missed e4. I mean...
yeah, but she could play f5 preventing it, actually. I mean, here, after g3, knight d7 is maybe interesting, knight d7. Maybe e4 here had to be played right now, because after bishop g2, already f5. She didn't play it, but after f5, you don't have those ideas of e4.
So when black played knight d7, you have to seize this opportunity immediately and to play e4.
I don't know if it's so strong, but at least you have to do it now.
But before it was not possible, then I would simply take the pawn on a4. So the knight was on f6.
Yeah, but especially knight d7 is threatening f5. That's why now you have to react. I mean, after here, maybe you have to look for this. I don't know. Okay, let's, anyway, it's not the subject anymore. Let's see the game.
And she went for g4.
She wants for g4. Yeah. She wants to break this and try to break there. And
can you take now, bishop? No, and then
but
no,
now
but
you
then
open the
of course
position a bit.
the position is a bit open, and your knight
But
is
the
pinned.
structure is scattered. I mean, you get also your three pawn islands with white. You don't have such an advantage on the pawn structure anymore.
And you cannot play rook c7 here because there is knight d5.
Yeah, this is an important trick. I mean, if you want to unpin, you know, positionally, everything good, don't forget that tactics is more important. Huh? It's a pin. The pawn c6 is pinned. If you takes, rook takes c7.
Actually, Igor, you know, once again, I really love this move g4. She's looking for dynamic play. She opens the position, and now e4 is in the air once again.
Well, me, I don't like that much, because then you scattered your pawn structure, and you have also three islands with white. I'm
Do
not
you
sure
ever agree with me?
Yeah, but
There was
not on
a few
G4.
times, not?
Not on g4.
I think, especially
No,
in
only
the
thing,
rapid.
only thing where your point is okay is that you may generate some dynamism with e4, which is not easy to cope in this time control with 5 minutes on the clock. So for this reason, it may be a good practical move, this g4, to put pressure. In a normal game, long game, it will not work.
No, I understand.
Black will be fine.
Given the situation, because
Given the situation, it's maybe a very good move, but
we should always contextualize things, and
Yeah.
I think that here it's a very good practical decision. Of
I don't
course.
know. Now you have to take, yeah, or not?
On c3.
And queen, king d6. Okay, the rook here is preventing a bit this e4. Let's say you will play here, but now I can play rook c7.
But
because
why
no
rook
more.
c1? What is the threat?
Why did you put
Can,
pressure on?
yes,
go
but
on the
can we
line?
create something more? I don't even know.
My
concrete?
imagination doesn't work well in those positions, so show me what you want to create.
Well, I want to play e4, maybe rook d1 first. Yes.
Okay, now I go
And
a5.
then,
Let's say I go a5 or rook c7, a5.
but do you have a3 and e4 here? Or you will play rook h4?
Rook h4, of course.
Yes, this doesn't work.
I will go king g2, and I will move my rook somewhere. Now maybe even on b8, I don't need to stay there. The most important is to control e4 breaks. I mean, you have to control things like this, where e4 would come, and now it's not possible due to the rook. So,
Igor, just a second, because I was looking at your rook on h4. I wanted to take bishop d7, you analyze this, and then can I cut your rook with f4, or this doesn't bring anything?
yeah, but then you don't, I will not let...
You will play rook h5 immediately? Or?
Maybe not, maybe first rook e8, or maybe I can even cut you also with this. Want king g3.
G5 is a very important move.
I don't know if it's working. I mean, maybe I also wait.
But it could be tricky, actually, no? To play with this rook.
With
on
double
h4.
rook endgames, I don't think so. Only if you manage some e4
Yes,
or something.
but that was the idea. I wanted to play rook h5,
manage,
e4.
yeah, but maybe I just play rook e8, I don't know. Or rook, what is the idea? This e4, right?
e4, yes, I wanted to play so.
Does it work?
It's a try.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't threat anything, no? I mean, if you take, I play rook take.
King
maybe
g3?
this.
No, king g3. I improve my...
And now I will just protect everything.
No, I don't want to push. I wanted to play king g3. How? I wanted to exploit this rook on h5. It's a bit awkward for the moment, of course, I understand. So if I can do something
No,
here.
I have to move the rook somewhere. Rook e8 and this. Okay, maybe. In rapid especially it's tricky with 4 minutes, maybe. When when you have some pressure, it's always a bit unpleasant in rapid chess, because you can't find the solutions as you would do in normal game. So, okay, bishop h3 was played, she took, you see, finally she took.
Finally she took, yes.
She played rook c7 here. Now she wants to increase the knight. If I could choose the best position for the knight, it would be what? Maybe d6 or? Maybe d6? Then you will have to cope with rook c1.
I would say e4, knight f6, knight e4, king d6, if it's possible.
Okay, king d6 here, bishop d7.
I should went for bishop d7 immediately. But this is simply equal. Yes, of course.
Looks like a draw. Especially, yeah, double rook endgames are very, very drawish. So I don't think, I think it will be a draw. Actually, I like what she did, but maybe instead of her queen e3 check, maybe queen d2 is more tricky. That's what we saw at first. I mean, if I was looking this game and my pupil was playing, I would say fast play queen d2, not queen e3 check.
Oh, we will.
Especially with the 10 minutes break, it will not work anymore. Next guy will play, I mean, his coach will say to play bishop e7 here, not bishop c5. But even after bishop c5, she has a normal game.
But do you think Anna will repeat? Well,
Yeah.
it depends, of course, on the score in the
they will
match.
repeat
But
the same
if
lines.
the score is
yes.
equal, she will go for the same line.
Yeah, because she managed to hold with black. I mean, when she went something else tricky, she lost game 1. This is perfectly playable, this one. She is not afraid to repeat this, I think. And no. Me, I think that she has to try queen d2 here, and d3. Okay, maybe we are missing the best move here. I don't know. We look only bishop e7, I think.
No, but this is very.
Bishop e6,
This is all very normal.
Maybe
I
bishop
think.
b4 here may be a problem. I don't know. e3, knight e4. Who knows? I mean, if such a line works, maybe black is fine. I don't know. We didn't look at this. No?
Yes, we did.
Yeah, but not knight e4. Knight e4 may be unpleasant. So what? After bishop b4, a3 is the move?
Let's say queen d2. Of course, one of the main
I want to
moves
see
is
bishop b4.
bishop b4, then a3. Yes.
Only move, huh? Because e3, knight e4.
But
it's very important. Knight e4 again. No what?
you should take on d8. Knight d2.
King d2.
King d2. Bishop c3.
Bishop c3 check. I block with the king. Or
It was not tried on a very high level, so I suspect that we need to check also the correspondence database. So king c3, rook
knight
d8.
d8, let's say, to go knight e6 back,
It was-
e3. This may be a small plus, I don't know, knight e6, bishop d3. I mean, if you cannot give back with d4, you will have some problems, especially in rapid. Okay, me, if I was the coach, I would a bit investigate this. I would say in the 10-minute break to my pupil, play like this. This queen e3, I don't think she will manage to get anything from it. Even bishop c5, this position, she will not get something. Okay, so let's see back what's going on. So we think that this position is drawish.
Especially after bishop d7.
Yeah, they will play, of course, but I don't see why it should be better here.
So they will repeat the moves.
You can't break the other way. It's not reasonable to continue this position. It's not this one that you will push. I mean, you are not 1 point down, and so draw is normal. She has absolutely no other weakness possible. The rook on b4 cuts any other attempt. Yeah, she's lucid. Yeah, they make draw. I see. Okay, they made draw. It's normal result. So I don't know. We will see now if our coach are listening to me for both games.
The second game was drawn between Hampi Konero and Anna Muzichuk. The tension is rising, Igor. So now the players are exactly in the same situation where they could be before the classical tiebreaks. Only 2 games are left. Anna Muzichuk will be having white pieces in their next game. So I got an answer from the chief arbiter. They're allowed, of course, to consult their coaches between the games. So
the coaches should listen to us, should listen to me. Because I have experience, I tell you. I am with Raja, I am coach with Raja for 15 years, and I know those situations, I know those things, and I know, at least I know the direction they should not take, in general. Of course, I don't have my computer with me. I mean, we are just looking, but I think in general my intuition is good about such things, and Queen e3, they should not repeat. And from what I saw in the Petrov, the last game, I don't remember what I said, but okay. We will see.
Yes, you have the results, and if we use the boxing analogy, maybe these were the 2 rounds of observations. You know, what will happen in the third game?
To know what opening they prepared, and I think they should both repeat with our improvements.
With Igor's improvement.
No, it's not self-confidence. I think I am truly speaking about chess. And about chess, this is the direction, I think. That at least my view on chess.
Okay, we will take a small break. The next game will start in a little bit less than 10 minutes, and we will be here 2 minutes before the game starts.
Okay. I always smile when I see my face on the... Welcome back, Almira. We are there for the last two games of the rapid section of the tie-breaks. So far we have had two fighting draws, actually, interesting draws. We could see more or less what they prepared, what were their opening preparation. And we will see now, because there are 10 minutes break per game, if their teams made some good job during those few minutes since it started.
Look at this image. It is so powerful, incredible. I think that Anna Muzyczuk is still consulting her coach, while Hampi Koneru is trying to concentrate, to get this absolute concentration she needs.
But she spoke with her coach or not?
I don't know, but she needs this in order to qualify.
Yeah, but I think it's better to have speak with your coach than to focus. I'm sorry, but it's about opening what you get in the opening first.
Yes, but maybe she had a few minutes to talk to her coach.
If she talks with the coach, it's fine. Then if she's concentrating, it's fine.
So let's remind our viewers what is at stake. Lei Tinji, who won her match against Maria Muzyczuk, is waiting for her opponent, and it will be decided during this tiebreak who will join her in the semi-final of the candidates, women's candidates tournament, Group A. So
a place in semi-final is at stake, and we remind you that the winner of the candidates, the world candidate cycle, is the challenger of is the next challenger of the world champion, who is Zhu Wenjun from China.
So.
Okay, so she plays e4. We expect the Petrov.
And Petrov once again, of course.
No, but it's sure. They will repeat. Now it's white who has to show something against this a6.
But where's the surprise value then, Igor?
But now it's not anymore about the surprise. It's the tie-break. You have to do. You are not there to change openings there. I mean, you are changing small details.
So they're repeating the line from their first game, which was played in this tie-break.
She will play one of the moves we spoke about, bishop g3, or the other one, I forgot what it was. What computer shows, I mean. The coach looked at the variation. He understood that the ID is 98, 96, so he has to look for something.
So, and here
remember,
it is. Here it is, Igor, bishop b5. Look, because Hampi didn't play 96 in the first game. She goes for bishop g4 in the second game, like here in the second Petrov game, and Anna comes with a novelty.
Bishop f5, so okay. Yeah, so he prefers to surprise her here than after a6 that she probably analyzed, which is smart if it's working.
First of all, bishop e5 prevents queen d7 and knight c6, knight d8 setup, of course.
So let's say what is going
on here
in the knight c6 or castle. Okay, first of all, what's going on if g6? The bishop is a bit has problems. So
but
you come back
and
then you are
g4.
threatening g4. You are forcing him to take, give the bishop pair. He doesn't want to do this. Okay, normal move is knight c6 here.
But then can I do something?
What's the idea of bishop f5? To go g4 right now?
Oh, but can I castle? Then you threaten knight e5.
Yeah, but then explain me the idea of bishop f5.
I do not allow you queen d7.
I don't want, huh? She didn't play. She
yes,
played?
she did play, yes. Queen d7, and only then they deviated from
So you want
the
castle,
theoretical.
but
No, but
e5.
knight e5. Okay, then g4 maybe.
You have to go g4 here.
Bishop g6, and how to react here? Queen e2.
Or queen c2. This she has to think. Which one is the best?
But why? Because after queen e2 you want to take? Because then I have this x-ray once
yeah, but
again.
be
I
careful
will play
because
f6.
I always have take and queen d7 coming.
But I wanted to play f6 because of queen e2. Can we try this?
Now it's queen c2, but okay. Queen e2, let's say you take.
Queen d7,
Can
f6.
I attack this pawn here? Or like this, e6?
No, f6. Because of the...
e6 you
yes.
just take and you play here and then everything is stable here in the blockade. You want to play
Yes,
f6, but
that was my idea. Sometimes you use those ideas
bishop
in,
f8,
in
now you have to
Ursulima,
go.
yes, and now I don't know how to continue. Because if you take, I will take with check on f6.
Maybe something like this, yeah, rook g1. You have to come back, let's say. Now something on g5.
Can I play like bishop g5 and...
Bishop e7, okay, something there maybe. I'm not sure that you have to take on g7 actually. Well, it may be an idea. The other idea is queen c2. Now what? She has to come here this time. She cannot come on c7.
Maybe
You
queen
just
c7
give.
is possible.
You just give.
And then you cannot castle, yes.
So you have to castle here one day.
And then I will play h4, maybe, no? At some point, maybe knight
e1,
e5
first
is
you
still,
protect.
yes, is still a threat. And
Let's
then,
say I do b5.
and then
Now what? How do you
h4
continue?
I
h4, h5. Huh? Your
Yes.
attack is stronger, yeah, because I will just let it like this.
h5.
I take there, and f6 is coming. And after take there, I will always take with the pawn, yeah? Because when I have king d1 now, if you manage one day to check me somewhere, I have king d1. This should be better for white. Huh? This is the idea.
I was a bit afraid to take with the pawn. I would naturally take with the bishop.
Actually, I think it's smart, this idea, bishop f5, because he made some work in this position rather than the a6 that they pre-worked.
So knight c6 was played, g4, bishop g6, and you
Queen
see
e2,
my
it's my
your move is big queen c2.
Nice.
So, no.
That's true.
And queen b6 was played almost immediately.
Now she has a castle long. I like white very much. I like this bishop f5. I think he was very smart in the preparation, in the surprise. He had to change somewhere, and of course he will not allow a6, knight d8 all the time. Huh?
So castle long here.
Yeah. I don't remember if during the game, the normal game, she played knight c6 move order or bishop g4 move order during the normal games. If you can check.
I think you have the database.
Yeah,
Let's
but me,
just
I am
check.
showing.
Yes, I don't.
Unfortunately,
yes,
I
just a
cannot
second.
leave the
Just a second, I will have a very
I cannot
quick
leave
look.
the screen.
No, I think she played the classical of it because I have this image.
Ah, you mean I have here? Yeah, you are right. I have here. Yeah.
Just a second, but I think she played knight c6.
Where is it here?
No, it's another
This
match.
one?
Yes.
Okay. Let's just look because if she could play bishop f5 during the classical games or not,
No, it was not possible.
we would have noticed. Huh? Ah no, it was not possible because she played knight c5. She played queen d7. Yeah.
No, it was in the
first game of
in
rapid.
the first game of rapid. Yes, and she
So
played.
no. She played already bishop
without
g4
knight
because you asked this last time already.
Don't-
Okay, let's come back to
Don't
the game.
confuse me.
No, yeah. During the game, it was another story. She didn't play knight take d2 at all. She played queen d7 during the normal games. It's a very interesting line against the
No,
Petrov.
these were the lines that we were analyzing with bishop g4 and knight c6.
No, what
we
she
were
says,
showing.
Almira, is that normally all those games from the past, Grichuk, Caruana, and others,
And Alireza Nair, yes.
Alireza Firouzja against Nair, knight c6 were played here all the time, not bishop g4. So with her coach, she played twice bishop g4. Maybe she found a reason. And now, this time, he decided, probably the coach of Umpi Konero, of Anna Muzishuk, decided that she will not repeat what she did before with g4. I don't remember what it was, not bishop f5. What was the move?
She castled.
She castled, then rook e1, and so on. He decided to try to profit from the move order immediately, which is very smart, I think. And queen e2. Queen b6, castle. I prefer white much here. She suffered in the match in this opening, Umpi Konero.
No, but as you maybe in this particular line, but she was she missed a clear win in the second game, where Anna overstepped.
Yeah, but
after
before she
playing.
was worse.
Yes, of course, but
I mean, in the theoretical battle, she suffered, actually.
so long castle.
The only game where she had no problems was the first rapid, where she played good. But bishop f5 may cast doubts. So maybe she has to play knight c6, not... but what is strange is computer doesn't show any bishop f5 or what? I can't believe that she starts bishop g4 and she doesn't look bishop. Let's see. Computer doesn't show it. I mean, here, no. No, it shows it. It shows g4. Oh, it's possible. You play bishop g4, bishop h5, you don't look g4, bishop f5. You play bishop g4, h5, and when it's the first move of comp, I don't understand.
Well, I find it logical when you play it for the first time, but I don't
No,
think
but
that
yeah,
you should
yeah,
use
but
this line for the
especially,
second time.
Almira, especially nowadays, you enter a line with a subtlety. You don't go knight c6 twice, you go bishop g4. You cannot look at your compy who offers g4, bishop f5, or bishop f5, g4. Oh, it's possible. I mean, I would be much more, how to say, delighted and impressed if bishop f5 was not a move shown by compy. You understand? Like if it was deepness. It's not deepness, it's the first move. Okay.
So what happened next?
No, there is a big hole in preparation of Umpi. I mean, how it's possible to let bishop f5 without looking at home. Then you don't play this move order, you play knight c6 and that's it. Okay, maybe first game I can understand. You think you surprise at the board, she will not find, but second game, no.
So White has a very
So an opening
position,
disaster,
yes.
just an opening disaster. Which I don't understand because when you enter bishop g4, h3, bishop h5, computer shows g4, bishop g6, bishop f5, or bishop f5 first, like he did, and g4 next. How you can miss it?
Maybe it was a risk she was willing to take. So what I was saying, it was okay.
Yeah, but in
the
this
first
case,
game, but
I can
you cannot
understand this
repeat.
argument, but in this case, you have to prepare several things. This one for game one, then you surprise for game two. And you understand now the philosophy of Carlsen and Kramnik. I think their factor number one was the surprise effect in each game. It means if Carlsen would prepare this, he would not repeat it. I mean, he would change before. It would play knight take d2 and some other plan next game, you know. It's to avoid such things.
Yes, he would go for another sideline.
Yes,
and
inside
change
this
a little
maybe,
bit.
but another sidelines. He will not allow White to show the preparation.
Igor, what is happening here? So rook g1 was played, and I was expecting something like rook g8 and
No, but
to be ready for the passive
she's trying
defense.
some things with
Rook
bishop
g7 and
f6.
bishop- but then I will take on f7. So you're
Yeah, but she
giving-
wants some counterplay on e5. I mean, something like this.
You're giving away all the pawns. Yes. What do you do here? Knight e5.
Yeah, but maybe she thinks that practically it's her best chance. All pieces are playing,
So rook h7.
which is not. Actually, it's not stupid at all, because okay, computer shows rook take h7 that it looks good, but as a human you see knight c4 and queen take b2 mate. You know?
No, but the rook is hanging. It's not the computer move. You just need
I
to
mean,
make
yeah.
a move, of
Yeah,
course.
but I mean, you like when you look this from White's perspective.
I'm afraid, yes.
I mean, better you have a good bishop e3 because, yeah.
I can understand, of course.
No. I think it's an interesting practical move. I mean, probably rook take g7 first, or can you go just bishop f4? Now you have to play practical with black. You are worse, but you are not lost. So.
But then maybe she's hoping that she can play
Bishop
f8 and
at
her
least she
rooks,
made the
yes,
rook
of
pass.
course,
She will. Okay, the
quite
king is always an issue because,
active here.
unfortunately, you would prefer it here or after a6, king a7. But all the time when you will go there will be e6.
She goes for rook g7.
She goes for the main. Huh? So she will go bishop f6. Or knight take e5, but it will be the same. I mean. No, Humpy knows she's worse, but she will try every practical resource possible. And it's far from finished, this game, really.
And even if she has all those pawns, they're quite weak. F2, F5,
Yeah,
H3.
so you are not even sure to be able, in case you manage to survive short term, to be able to use them and to convert due to them. I like very much rook h8. It's a very strong practical move.
So after rook f7, you suggest bishop b5, just with this. And then you can also have c4 and knight g3, okay, just in case, if other things do not work. It's good that you have bishop b3 at the end of the line. Yes,
otherwise it would be a bad, otherwise it would be a bad news, I have to say.
But what else can you do here? You can, even if you take on h7, so your rook is not going to be hanging after bishop b5, knight e5, knight e5. You will still take with the bishop?
On e5, yeah, probably
Yes.
the knight is more dangerous for attacking with those pawns and this. You need more the knight than the bishop for black.
So rook h7, and bishop
In
b5.
any case, I take with the bishop. The knight is more effective to... Okay, she's going for the line. Okay, she saw the bishop e3, so now we will have this line. We have bishop e5, knight e5, knight e5. Humpy knows that probably she's worse, but it's her best practical chance, and this is what is important.
Is she forced to take knight e5, or this is the best line?
You mean what? You want rook h7? No, bishop
No,
x6 is a
bishop,
threat.
no, just move
You play
your
what?
queen somewhere.
Queen d3? Well,
Queen d3 I don't like, but yes, and queen f1 looks
you have the
passive.
choice. Not so pleasant choice, actually, if you move the queen, but... Queen, yeah, maybe queen f1, I don't know. No, in general you must take. Well, you must take only if behind you have a move like bishop e3 and not...
This is incredibly creative, once again. She sacrificed all those pawns and she's striving for initiative.
Yeah.
So knight e5, knight e5, what to do? Rook h7,
Only
of course.
move, I guess. And now something here.
Knight c4 looks natural, of course.
Well, unless bishop e3 is very strong, because you have other moves here. You have d4, for instance. I mean,
d4 immediately, okay.
you have maybe queen f6 to get one pawn on f5, then maybe knight d3 check.
Let's try d4. I like
As Almira says, I mean, those pawns are not of a very high value at the moment. I mean, they are not connected, they are a bit, but they are there. So still, if you may lose some of them, but it takes time to go to pick, like queen f6, queen take f5.
Their value increases with every exchange, let's say.
Yes, especially with the queen exchange, their value increase much.
But let's try d4. I think that Anna is still thinking after bishop
Here
e5.
you have three moves. I mean, you have knight c4, you have queen f6 to attack the pawn, and you have d4. D4, which now threats nothing, actually, because knight c4 I will take now. The drawback of d4 is that you don't have knight c4 anymore.
No, but you're threatening d3 and queen c4, and knight c4.
Yeah, but after d3, the queen will move.
Where?
And after knight c4, I can play b3.
Okay.
I mean, I don't have knight c4 hitting the queen anymore because you have queen takes c4 simply. Practically, it's not that pleasant, I have to tell you. Computer shows maybe +2, +3 everywhere, but when you are at the board, you see this, you don't think you are lost at all.
No, and I think that it's very important not to look at the computer's evaluation right now, because
it's not the feeling you get at the board
sometimes
at all.
Those moves are the only ones and you don't really understand the evaluation.
She played your move actually, queen f1.
So she was afraid of this.
d4 and this. Yeah, I tell you, it's not what you feel at the board. It's not what you feel. This is about my book I was telling yesterday. That's,
so maybe you
I
can
was
use
planning
this
to write
position.
a book with a positional book with, but I will not repeat the idea, otherwise they will steal my idea.
But you know, it's not the problem. I think the biggest difficulty when you want to write a chess book, I was facing it, of course, but even if it was for the beginners, is that you have, you have to collect so many examples. Your database
No,
has to
I
be
think is that
very complete.
the real issue is to get the motivation. It's my problem because I have the knowledge, I have probably the material, I have the tools, but my motivation lacks a bit. At least if I write a book, I don't want an everyday book that they are all doing one again and again, or theoretical book on this line. I'm not interested in those. It's easy for me to do, but I don't want it.
Queen F1 is a very subtle move, Igor.
If I do a book, I want a good book, which is on some subject that they don't do, something a bit harder. I mean, not the usual stuff that you do for money. I mean, I'm not interested in this. So which?
No, I mean just Queen F1. After we analyzed a few lines, it's a very subtle move.
But what now? Knight A5. I go the other way. What?
But then I will take on E5, and
E5.
you will not take with a knight on E5. Does it change something?
But my knight wants to go on C4. I don't care by where I go through. What's my path, but I want to go there.
Okay, knight A5, knight E5.
You have to take, probably. But now, at least, as you said, the rook is not attacked with the tempo, and... okay, how do you deal with knight C4 threat now?
Well, I don't want to play B3 for sure, so...
Yeah, because I can even sacrifice.
This is out of the question, of course, so maybe we can analyze it a bit, but it looks...
Does it work? I think
no, knight B3, yes, A B3,
Queen D3, then what?
And then your rook comes, no? No. Can you draw?
I will check. Yeah, I will draw. I will not let your queen come. I mean, I will check.
Okay, so
check.
this is the draw.
I've never let the queen come there. I mean, check. It's a draw.
Igor, one question. For example, if this game is drawn, it's going to be a draw. Then which decision is optimal on Hampus-Koneru's behalf? Is it
to play, of course.
To play, yes.
Of course.
So
she has to win the game 4.
Okay.
She should not try to make a draw without playing, and she has not better chance than Anna.
Because if there is a decisive result, of course,
when you see what Anna is playing, with black, she's struggling for a draw. So you should not give a draw without playing. No, of course you play.
Okay, so what happened? Queen A5 was played.
Oof, Queen A5. But then what she wants to attack? She wants to attack with D4? No, Queen A4. 5 was not the way. It was Knight A5 only way. She's lost, I think. Queen E4 check, trick. Okay, she's lost, maybe not, but...
So Queen A4 is the threat.
Can I play something like Rook E1 with Queen D3 back next? Let's say Rook E1.
Maybe she hopes for D4 here. And,
something like this, you mean? Yeah, because you have to see B3 now, which is not so easy.
And there is B3 in this position, and then what is the difference?
Because after B3 as a human, we see Queen A3,
and
we don't see what it gives.
Queen B5 probably.
Yeah, but you have to see this, it's not easy.
No, I understand, of course, because I didn't see it before you played Queen A3, but I think Queen B5 and you're threatening mate.
Of course, in such positions, what you're doing as well. Yeah, Queen E4 check. It's a practical move. For computer, it's completely desperate. For a human, you see Queen E4, you see D4 coming. It's not so easy, practically. You don't feel at least the +3 from the computer, at least.
Well, my personal experience tells me that when you're down like to 6 minutes, like my hands are shaking anyway. So.
No, 6 is still fine. When you start to be 2-3, then maybe.
No.
Me, I will not check until 20 seconds.
I cannot handle the pressure anymore. Yeah. This is, I think, one of the most important.
This is a very good point what you are saying, because one of the problems with the age is that you can't cope with the nerves when you are in time trouble like you was used to do before. That's why players who are always in time trouble, like Grichu, Raja before and this, now they have to change their way of playing. If they want to be still competitive, they can't give those time trouble anymore. They are not kids anymore, very strong tactical kids, and no. Now they have problems with nerves if they do this. This is what is changing. This they could have afford until some years ago, but now if they want to stay competitive, it's over. This time of crazy time troubles. And
I confirm.
You was in time trouble, yeah?
No, not when I was
you
younger.
You was playing fast from what I
yes,
remember.
of course. But then I was always feeling much better with fast time controls, and now I see that it changed completely.
I mean, I never liked fast time control. I always liked to deal with the what I really have to do in the position and time. And I always had the feeling that time control was a bit spoiling my my understanding of the position. I had to produce move when I would like to be optimal. Okay. I was not bad, but I didn't like them.
Bishop g5 was played here, which
now computers give 0-0. You understand?
How is it 0-0?
I don't know. I just see from with laser eyes that because the screen is very far from us, so we don't see the evaluation. I mean the moves exactly, but I have to make tremendous effort.
Yes,
but I see a 0-0 from far.
Igor has a much better vision than me. Okay, so bishop g5 attacks the rook, but how is it 0-0? I don't understand.
You give the piece, bishop takes c3, bit takes c3, d4. No, it's very hard. It's such a 0-0. It's not a present, I have to tell you.
It's completely insane.
No, it's very hard actually. And bishop take d8, what's the idea?
I don't know.
Let's see, because it's not trivial, huh? Especially...
Maybe queen b4?
Yeah, there is a pawn still.
No, if you take on c3, bishop d8, queen b4.
Yeah, but it's long, I mean.
Here.
If you play d4, I mean, it's not obvious. Of course, if you take, then check. Okay, this I understand. But you understand as well that queen cannot come back due to d takes c3. This is hanging. So let's say I play the normal move.
Then d takes c3.
And black is winning here. Whoa. So if queen d3, let's say.
What happens? You can take on d8 and then what
queen b4 check simply and queen b2 mate.
You mean queen b4 because I was looking at.
It's very hard with 5 minutes. I am sure that she would find it in a normal game.
No, I'm not sure.
No, in a normal game you have 1 hour, you will find it because you know you are losing. It's this or nothing. You maybe take 20, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, but you find it. At least a very strong player will find it. You see, she didn't find it. No, it's too hard. I mean, who will see bishop takes c3? You see, but not with d4 ID. Okay,
but now we have seen this idea after rook h7. Does it work? Especially that the rook is on d6 now, and you can bring the rook on d6.
Now she will find. Now she will find because it's much easier to find when you see how to say a transfer of the rook. No, this is findable. The other one is clearly another level upper.
No, the other one is...
The other one, in a rapid chess, I don't know if at Carlsen level, Nakamura and those define. I think not.
No, maybe you can find it in a science fiction novel.
No. I think nobody in the world with 5 minutes on the clock and tension finds this. Even Carlsen, Nakamura and so no. But here, a lot of people will find. Because you see that after taking... You open rook b6 check, and this you find.
Yes, this looks...
Especially all the other moves are lost. Yeah, she took it, you see. This is... yeah, so she will hold, actually.
Is it a draw after b takes c3?
Okay, she has to take. But it's very strange, she didn't see it coming, I mean. How it's possible she doesn't see it coming after rook d6? You have to see it coming. I mean, you have to play a move like rook e1 or something, I mean, to pin.
Well, but she didn't want to take on a5 because then you have this knight e5.
Yeah, but Almira, what I mean is that she didn't look the counterplay. I mean, at this level, you have to look the counterplay. Rook d6 is not just, or maybe she just thought that it's it's a necessary square not to give the rook, only this. But no, she didn't look that it's too open. Okay, let's see.
So bishop c3, Anna is still thinking, and I think she's shocked right now. She forgot about
She's
this
surprised.
move.
She forgot about it. She just thought rook d6 was to take out the rook from the attack. I mean, nothing else. Not that there would not be any attack.
And now you have to readjust. Okay, you know that you are in real danger.
Yeah, but to
what
readjust
to
is
do?
b takes c3, only
Okay,
move.
b takes c3, and then
Okay, let's advance, because she's thinking, she has still 4 minutes. She will use maybe one more to make her mindset. Now she understands that everything is dangerous. This is at least an immediate draw, probably. You are threatening queen take a2. If he takes, it's draw immediately.
but how? No,
So
I'm
what, rook
winning.
d2?
I think
Can
I'm winning
you
now.
play rook d2 here?
No,
Rook
but if
d2,
you take on before, I think I'm winning.
because the rook is coming,
Yes.
yeah? Okay.
So
So she has to play like this, and now to try something like this, which will be a draw in some lines like this.
okay, knight a. But it's important to see this knight a2, of course.
No, but she has to take. I mean, no other choice. She's thinking. Yeah. You see practically why it's important to play practical moves. Because you have what the compy says. Maybe I will really write this book. I really will write this book. It can be a very big, especially for nowadays chess, such a book can be a very big bestseller.
But players are not aware about the computer evaluations because, for example, I've listened to Anna's interview yesterday. After the game, she said, it was a very complex game. I feel completely exhausted, and I had no idea what was going on in the middle game, especially in the time
Yeah, because
trouble
she
phase.
looked, we saw her in the street, Almira spoke a bit with her. She looked extremely tired yesterday. After the game, she gave everything. I mean, for the game, all the stamina, energy. It's very tiring. I mean,
and she's down to her last, 2.5
no,
minutes.
she understands that she missed this, and it's terrible what she missed. Now she has to fight for a draw, and she's not sure it's a draw. Actually, I mean, she sees this rook. She says it may be losing for me. But you understand how to get such a position. You have to fight to find the best practical move. Sometimes it's to give those 3 pawns, like we saw.
Okay, let's say if she doesn't see anything concrete after bishop b takes c3, can she play b3 here, or she's not considering it at all?
Queen a3. I mean,
yes,
bishop
bishop
c1.
c1. Yes, I want
Yeah,
to.
but then you are
find the
fighting
defense.
with this diagonal open. Oof. Now I
Bishop
go queen
c1.
a5. Yeah.
Where
like
do you
this.
go here?
And a5, I guess. Maybe I will come back there, my favorite.
And c4. Yes. This
You
is-
collapsed once. Maybe I come back to make the second act.
No, and c4, of course, is a very important threat right now, and.
Okay, let's see. Because now she has to take a decision. I mean, she cannot play when she has 20 seconds. Now it's. She may even lose this. I mean,
Okay, but after bishop c3, you say knight b4. Yes, and it's a draw.
yeah, but probably knight e5 works too. I mean.
Knight e5. Okay, we didn't analyze this.
Okay, but let's see. Let's wait for their move because now it should come very fast. It's 1 minute 20. We should not analyze now when it's so critical. It's exactly what I tell you. There is those moves of computer, especially for the younger generation who are believing about on computers so much. There are those moves of computers, and there is what you are able to see. There are the practical moves, and they are much more important. This aspect of chess is much more important at the board than what computer evaluate or what is the truth of the position.
Okay, Anna has to make her move right now.
And Magnus Carlsen at this game is very, very strong. I mean, he's the strongest player on earth to guess what opponent is able to do. She played your b3. I mean.
But this is a very human move. I think if you cannot calculate till the end what's happening after b takes c3.
And the point is that her mindset should be terrible. Now she is losing. I mean, she's worse. Maybe not losing yet, but because as Almira pointed before, those pawns here are just irrelevant in the middle game. They will not go anywhere. I mean, you go f6, I don't care. You go f7, it's not queen yet. I mean, it's 2 moves, and 2 moves here, you can get devastated on the king. c4, take, it comes immediately. Knight b4 comes. I mean, I don't care to lose material if I mate.
So bishop, queen a3, we are now.
Queen a5, queen a3, I don't know. Okay, she
Queen
has a
a5.
choice as well, queen a5. What a turn of events, I mean. She missed completely bishop takes c3 resource. This is why you should never relax when you are better, never.
Yes, but this is not better, like you have a slight advantage, and you are pressing. This is a very complicated
This was
position.
better, but theoretically better a bit, because at the board, when you see, there was this majority, very annoying. I mean, the majority here.
When she was like
d5, c5, b7, a2, a7 against a2, b2, c3, this majority is very unpleasant, because all the time you play d4 and...
So bishop f4 is on the board, the rook is hanging. What will be the perfect square for the rook right now? Because you have rook c7.
Yeah, but you maybe can change your mind as well. Something like queen a3, bishop c1, queen b4, not allowing bishop f4.
Okay, so
it's maybe
this
interesting
maneuver
actually.
is still possible.
No, it will be very wild. I mean, it's not winning for white, it's not winning for black, it's just a very wild game. I mean, no. Everything can happen. She can lose with white, she can win with white.
What happens if knight b4? How are you going to defend? a4 is the only move. Yes,
Yeah,
okay.
she played it fast.
And if you bring your rook on b6, then rook c7 comes, yes?
Yeah, it can go either way actually. You can still lose easily with black.
And now you have queen b5. That's why I wanted to play rook b6, because I wanted to avoid
Yeah,
the queen
because
trade.
sometimes queen b5 can extinguish the attack completely. I mean, and then you still have your pawns there. Okay, I still have some as well, but don't worry don't forget that rook c7 is a huge threat.
So
I think the best practical move exactly here was this, forcing this, and after you come back there, you do not give any bishop f4 with rook c7 check. This you don't give.
But let's say in the position, in the current position, if we play rook d7, if you take on d7, I just wanted to evaluate this
Maybe
position
rook
very
d7
quickly.
is the normal move. Rook
So-
c6 looks like a move as well.
I
But
didn't want, after queen b5, it to be under the attack. So the rook,
this is also a move, but queen b5 as you. And now I cannot escape, or can I go here?
no, the mate on b7, you forget.
Ah,
You see?
wrong move again. Yeah.
No, I don't like this rook on h7, it bothers me, so I wanted to
Then
play
you change
rook
queens.
d7
So you have maybe to play here. And what about take?
and queen b5 here. That's what I wanted to evaluate. Queen b5, a takes b5. How's this position? You will play rook
Because
f8?
this is what a human sees. But
You have also
yeah,
have
but
rook
the
e2.
pawns are scattered. This is good for black probably.
Also rook e2 with this rook
Unless
b2
there is
threat.
something like this, but you have d4 here.
Okay, no, this I don't like.
No, you should not play queen b5 here. Here there is no attack anymore, first of all. At least not for the next move. Yeah, but queen c4, she will not foresee. Here, a good move is this. But I mean, this is too difficult. At least to see it from far.
Why queen c4?
No, but this looks bad. No, of course she has to play rook d7.
What
She
happened?
played rook c6? Oof. She had to play rook d7. What a bad move, rook c6. She had to play queen b7, rook d7. She had to prevent this idea. Now she's winning again. What a turn on events, huh?
Does she have another choice?
I can tell you that after rook d7, probably she would still be better, because I don't see that she would take queen c4. Or maybe she would, huh?
So she took on b5.
Maybe she would, because it's only one move away. Okay, I take b5. And now what?
So now you have this terrible threat of rook c7.
No, it's lost now. It's a blunder by Umpi. Umpi is lost.
She was counting on rook e2. We forgot about this resource, of course.
Yeah, but she doesn't
Bishop
give a
d2.
she doesn't give a mate, huh?
if you take on c6 right now, what is
Now you
happening?
take on c6.
You will go bishop c3 back, and the game continues.
Yes?
Can you take on b7 and play rook g1, or there is mate? No, then there is mate, rook b2
There is
and
knight
knight
d2
d3.
at the end that both of them missed, I mean.
Which one?
There is this.
Bishop
You
c3.
go there, check, and now it seems that black is winning unless this move comes.
And only then
And
rook
if
g1.
you come there, can I go rook g1 here? I'm winning here. Whoa.
So let's see if Anna will find knight d2.
They take, bishop c3, check, king b8. Now she has to find knight d2 with 20 seconds. But she will play. Oh.
She played rook g1 immediately, but what about rook b2
It's
and knight
drawn
d3?
now. It's drawn now. With knight take f2.
Yes,
It's drawn.
yes.
Rook b2. What a game. She didn't see knight d2 winning on the spot because 20 seconds, it's an issue. Okay, now she has to play rook b2 check. You see, Umpi found resource, huh? Because it was very hard to see knight d2. Wow. Now knight d3, knight f2 check, yeah? Check, and this, and check. You have to come back and check back. But she's hoping to get more here, but she can't, because rook g8 is a mating threat, so she will make draw here. What a game. Now she has to play knight take f2 check, and they will make a draw now. Whoa, 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 what a game. She was winning, then lost, then winning again, then no. Okay, so everything at stake on the last game. It's a big tension.
Okay, and a draw was agreed. It was a third draw in this match, but what a draw it was.
Oh.
Igor, I think that...
For the nerves, it's very difficult for the player, for both of them.
And for our nerves, you know, I have to
Our
calm
nerves,
down myself.
nobody cares about
No.
our nerves.
I think, of course, it's the tension is rising. The players need to
My nerves
calm
are
down.
fine. If you want
No,
if you want to know, my nerves are still the same, like from the first day. Nothing can affect me about the games. I am emotive, but my nerves are very fine.
So the
Yours
game,
less, I mean.
I cannot deal with this pressure. Even if I'm watching the games, I feel like I'm playing those games myself. So the third draw in this match and the decisive, maybe not the decisive, but the fourth game of this match will start in 9 minutes. We will take a small break.
Okay, now what we have to know is in case there is another draw.
We will show the format, of course,
this is important
at the
now.
beginning
Now
of the round, I think. So let's get a short break.
Yeah,
And
but
we
very
will
nice
remind,
tie break. I mean,
of
it's
course.
a very thrilling tie break, actually.
And we are back and ready. Once again, the fourth game of this tiebreak is ahead of us. The players are getting ready as well. Igor, what a tiebreak it is.
Yeah, it's a very fascinating tiebreak.
Let's have a look at the graphics because we will remind you of the results before the game will start. Hampi is fully focused. So let's see. 3 games were drawn so far. So if there is still a tie after the fourth game, we will move on to Blitz game. 5 minutes plus 3 seconds increment per
But
move.
only 2 games this time control. Only 2 games this time, not 4. 2 games, 5 minutes, 3 seconds.
And if there is still a tie, 1 game of 3 minutes plus 2 seconds increment per move will be played. And there is still a tie, another game is going to be played until there is a winner.
No, this is the real novelty, is that next 2 games, 5 minutes, 3 seconds, and if draw, which has reasonable chances to happen, then it will be the forever going game. I mean, you lose, you play 3-minute games. If you make a draw, you play another. If you make a draw, it can last until the end of the night, until one of them win.
So who will crack under pressure, Igor?
Well, I'm not.
Let's
I am not
see.
Madame Soleil, my idea. So I don't know.
Okay, so
I like both players, so I don't have a favorite. I mean, whoever wins, I will be happy anyway. So
the other quarterfinals was won by Lei Tinji, and she's watching these tiebreaks. She's waiting for her opponent. And Anna Muzyczuk goes for the same line, but with not knight f6. She goes for the classical.
No. They started with knights. She didn't start with knight f3. She starts with knight c3.
Okay, but she goes even here. Like
Yeah, but now there are differences. This is less good, I think. But probably she works both ways. But no. There are differences here.
She doesn't want to play the classical.
In fact,
cards.
compared to the other games, there is no knight f3, knight f6
Yes.
included, and it changed probably a lot of things.
What I meant was e takes d5.
Yeah,
so
but now she gives
takes-
the pawn. I
on
mean, this is
d5.
another story. Of course, it will be a lot of activity, but probably she knows those positions. She's a natural d4 player, and she has experience with those positions. It's not like if the first time of her life she sees this.
Of course, this is all theory. Both players are probably aware that the main line is queen d5 here. There is another possibility, knight f3, but queen d5 is the main line.
Yeah, but knight f3, knight f6 is exactly their first game.
Of course.
So do you take on d5 or do you play knight f3, knight f6? She took on d5. She accepted the challenge. She knows she has to win. So now it will be a lot of activity for black. The point is, can white in a rapid chess handle this activity and exit with this pawn more?
One of the main lines.
Queen d1.
No, I mean not after knight f6 is knight c6
instead of knight f6.
Of course, but knight f6, queen d1 was played so many
In
times.
general, you put back the queen on d1, far from the danger.
And bishop c5.
Don't forget that f2 is an issue. f2 can be a problem in some lines. I mean, in general, you have to play e3. Unfortunately, I mean, you will not, for instance, start to go bishop g5 due to moves like bishop take f2 check, which is important. I mean, knight g4 check, and next move queen take g5. So, I mean, here you have, I think, after bishop c5 to close with e3. You have to close this diagonal, but on the other hand, you also close your bishop for a while. Of course, later on, it can develop on b2, but it's time-consuming. First, you have to deal with the...
You can also play knight f3 and then e3.
Yeah, and you know the
bishop
dynamics
c5,
for
of
black, how
course.
it's coming. I mean, it will come with castle, knight c6, queen e7, because there is an extra file for black. He has a pawn down, but he has an extra file. And then one rook on d8, one rook on c8. Where will the queen go? That's also a problem.
So e3 and castle.
And once again, I mean, such positions is maybe not advisable in a long game, but in rapid chess, I mean, you are putting pressure. Your moves are very easy. You know the place for your next few moves. You will play castle, queen e7, knight c6, rook d8, rook c8. White, it's another story.
Well, Anna is still thinking. I found a very recent game between Shahriar Mamedjarov.
Yeah, because there can be also possibilities to go knight c6, queen e7 first, rook d8, or maybe long castle. I don't know if it's possible.
And Grandmaster Boruchovsky, it developed this way. e3 castle, knight f3, queen e7, as you said, bishop b2, rook d8, castle, knight c6, and black had a very good position.
Active, yes. I mean. Very good position, I don't know, but at least there are practical problems to cope with in a rapid game.
They managed to make a draw rather.
Okay, she played castle. Bishop knight f3 is the same, queen e7, that's what I told you. This loss of a pawn gives you queen e7 easily. Why white doesn't have the same move? Because he still have the bishop on f1. You see the problem for the queen. It has only those two squares, while me, I have put my queen here, and I have d8 for one rook and c8 for the other rook. Yes, I don't know where the queen will go.
No, but I will probably play a3 and queen c2.
Okay, first of all, already there is a castle. Knight c6, and now it's exactly what I was speaking about. My two rooks goes on d8, c8 with black. Where you put your queen?
No,
you are lacking squares.
You should not castle. I think that you should play a3 and queen c2 and castle.
Yeah, but then you give problems on the white squares. Yeah, b3. Because don't forget that when you play a3, I will anyway play rook c8, and whenever you will play b4, I will sacrifice.
So knight c6. Can you play a3 here?
No, I think you are more concerned by developing pieces here, if you manage.
But e3,
bishop d2,
yes,
maybe,
c2,
you know.
Bishop d2.
I don't know if you manage to play things very slow, like bishop d2, queen c2, rook c1, if you get attack queen b1, rook d1, bishop e1, like a queen's gambit. It's unlikely to happen. I think it's too slow, but who knows, I mean.
I think that a3 is the main line in this position.
There are games, yeah?
a3, rook ac8, or a3, bishop d6. It goes on. See. a3, rook a8, queen c2.
Somehow I don't like this move at all, but... Okay, I go rook c8, yeah?
Rook c8, queen c2. Naturally, you're trying to improve your bishop. You're playing bishop d6. You change the diagonal, I in the h2.
Why should I play bishop d6? You are not threatening anything.
No, but this is a plan they used in this position almost all the time.
You cannot play, let's say, a6 and take the space with b5. Okay, you have to... I don't know what you will do. Okay, let's say a6, you do what? Rook d1. My point is that if you start to go b4, I will sacrifice, yes? I will start to sacrifice. This is why it's difficult. I mean, always you have things like this. Bishop b2, now you take, and you have knight e4, you will win back the material. I mean...
But I don't want to play b4.
But why should I play bishop d6? I play e6. What do you do?
So let's say rook d1, yes.
You have to do b5, let's say.
Okay, what is your next move here? I don't know what is my next move here.
Bishop d2, bishop e1, you must play. Okay, maybe.
But after bishop b1, you should consider the threats like knight g4 and bishop takes e3 or knight takes e3.
Maybe it's not so easy. Maybe if I have rook c1 and I manage bishop e1, I mean, there is no b4, right? Before you will start knight a4.
Wait, but If I go bishop a7, what is happening? Knight d4 is the threat.
As you understand, moves like queen d3, it's more easy to say than to do. Huh?
No, no, no. Queen b1, no? I was
With
thinking.
the rook there, yeah. a5.
a5.
I don't know, I mean.
Of course, I understand that.
You understand my concern. I mean, just... okay, let's see.
Yes.
Knight c6, queen c2. See, she doesn't want to play e3, yeah? Maybe after rook c8, she will have to anyway. Okay, Anna will play rook c8, what else? I mean, you put, of course, the rook on the file of the queen.
So, knight b4 is not really...
She's only 10 minutes left, huh?
Knight b4 is queen b1 in this position.
Yeah. Yeah, and you are a bit lucky that you don't have bishop f5, because otherwise it will be a bad news. I mean, you cannot prepare it. I mean,
g6
g6
is too slow. e4.
e4 you have on time. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, but you have to figure out such things.
So queen c2, rook c8.
Okay. She didn't play it yet, but you have to do it. And now I think a very important move is rook d1, a bit pinning my bishop d7. So if you want to get activity by playing bishop e6, this, I trade one rook.
But can you play here knight b4 and g6? I think that you have to play a3.
Maybe
no
you're
matter
right.
what.
Now which move? g6?
Because knight, I have knight g4.
And now f2 is weak, yeah? Knight g4 coming.
When you played rook d1...
You would need in this position bishop e1.
So what do you do here? Rook f1 back?
Yeah, then I'm not so glad. Yeah, okay, if I see this, then maybe you will start to take.
What do you mean?
This
bishop f2 and queen c5.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if knight d1,
But the bishop on c1
bishop is not
so
hanging.
it's not
but
hanging for the moment. Okay, we need to find something. Knight d1
bishop
protects.
e6 maybe. Bishop g5 is... Rook take d1 check, yeah? And queen f2.
Bishop b6 with the idea of taking rook d1, of course. So.
Can be dangerous, huh? So a3 here. Yeah, she played a3. Rook c8, a3. Rook d1 would be very good positionally, but knight b4 one day. You cannot play with fire all the time. Huh? At one moment you have to play a3. So finally we are back in what we were speaking about.
This is what we call a tabia, yes, of this opening.
Yeah. It means that when she looks this home, she knows she has to put her pieces this way to limitate the counterplay. So probably both of them, they have some small knowledge about this still.
So a3, and she didn't go for bishop d6, she went for knight e5, exchanging...
She didn't go for my a6 b5 as well.
It's also a very interesting idea because you try to exchange this knight. And
this knight is one of the main defender of the castle, so I mean...
And only then, after queen
That's
e5,
sure.
bishop d6, yes.
Yeah, what would happen after this? Let's say now, for instance, you cannot play b4 due to bishop d6 threatening mate and threatening on c3. And if you play a move like rook d1, let's say, now I start to have some tactic here with bishop d6 or knight g4, maybe exchanging the second piece. And once you take, all my pieces are playing. This is very good for black. I mean, all pieces are playing, so I'm not sure that she wanted such a thing. Maybe bishop d6 is even better, I don't know. Okay, so she didn't exchange. But at least, you know, this knight who was protecting h2 and this, it's removed. So yeah, sometimes she wants to give away the pawn. Bishop take d4, rook take d4 one day, just to get the bishop pair and to be able to develop. Of course, here it's not yet because there is the bishop on d7, so there is no rook take d4 next. But
Anna played knight g6. Igor, I was wondering, let's just have a look at the position. I had a curious thought. If black plays knight c6, what do you do here? Do you take on c6 and activate the bishops, or you play knight f3 and you accept the draw?
Okay, not go knight f5. And play for a
you
win,
have a
no?
knight f5, of course. But then queen e5.
Understand. Knight g3 now.
Mhm.
h5. Possible or not?
Yes, I like this move as well. And what do you do here?
It's very interesting, knight c6. It's very interesting.
Because I was thinking knight c6, bishop c6 looked very promising for me.
Maybe I just let this shield, because it takes you energy to take my pawn.
Rook d1.
Yeah. Because anyway, one of my plans we saw, it's just to play one day this modest move. Of course, when I will come there, I will lose the knight, so I will have to see how to do, but can you go yourself, I don't know, h5, let's say? They are played?
Let's have a look. What
Knight
happened?
g6, so she played. She put knights around the king. Bishop d2, losing move or what?
What happened?
She lose a piece. Oh.
And the game is over. We just missed
Ooh,
this.
she blundered.
This move. Anna Muzyczuk won the fourth game of the tiebreak, and she is
On a
qualified.
huge blunder, under pressure.
While we were
Wow.
analyzing the game was over.
In two moves, simply.
Yes, in two moves. So bishop d2 was a huge blunder, and
Take,
after
take,
queen
and
e2,
queen e2. And in fact, it's as simple as knight take, there is rook takes e2. She could not cope with the pressure. Wow. Bishop d2 is a huge blunder here. You have to play rook d1.
So what a match. Anna won on demand her fourth classical game. She forced the tiebreaks, and she won the only game in this tiebreaks, and she is qualified for the semifinals. She will face Lei Tingi after a free day. Hampi Koneru is simply eliminated from this cycle. There is no other chance.
Whoa, what a turn on event. Yesterday before the game she was still qualified, and now... And she could win the game before.
We remind our viewers that this year it is a knockout tournament. We have two groups. The group A, which is organized in Monaco. Anna Muzyczuk won against Hampi Koneru, and Lei Tingi won against Maria Muzyczuk. So they will face each other in the semifinals of this group. The other group, we will have a graphic maybe a little bit later. Will start in a month in Uzbekistan, and there you have 3 Russian players and 1 Chinese player. So Alexandra Kostynyuk, Alexandra Goryachkina, Ekaterina Lagno, and Tan Zhongyi, they will fight for the place in the finals of this match. Only 1 player is qualified. And so the winner of this group and the winner of the group B will face each other in
2023. Yeah, so I mean, we only have the quarterfinal and semi-final here, not the final of the candidates. The final of the candidates will be staged later in 2023. So here what we were looking at now, it was the quarterfinal. Tomorrow, or in 2 days maybe, in 2 days starts the semi-finals between Lei Tingi from China and Anna Muzyczuk, who just qualified right now. And
what a dramatic ending!
it's a shock.
It's a shock.
Finish
Yes.
the game like this on a blunder, it's always a shock. I mean.
So knight g6, actually, it was a trap.
Yeah, but I mean, you have to play rook d1, of course. Now what?
So,
But
I
now you are
understand.
bringing pieces on the king. This is what I was speaking about, the practical aspect. Maybe I will write my book, I tell you, because it's important. For nowadays youngsters, you know, maybe I do my contribution to chess. Not only to the viewers, maybe to your young generation.
So here you have the graphics on your screen. Katerina Lagno will face Tan Zhongyi, and Alexandra Goryachkina will play against Alexandra Kostynyuk. So as you see, the winner of the match, Anna Muzyczuk and Lei Tingi, they will wait for their opponents.
Okay, so me, I will, yeah.
Yes, I wanted to say that Igor will leave tomorrow. It's a pity, but I think that you cannot stay for 2 weeks.
Yeah, anyway, I mean, Almira is in Paris, so I will visit her in her restaurant because she has very good restaurant in Paris. If you come by, you should visit her. It's in the 11th district, and what's the name? Maybe, I don't know if we are allowed to make the pub. You will look for yourself, but I will go there with my family, and we will speak chess. We have good...
Yes, we will continue, and we can play a few blitz games there as well. After
Yes.
a very nice dinner, then we can
I will train
continue.
before. Tell me the day before.
So thank you very much for watching. It was such a pleasure, Igor. Thank you for
Almira.
all.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. And really, it's an exciting format, and I like very much those cycles. And I will look, of course, from home every day the semi-finals, because it will be a very interesting semi-final. I mean, okay, Lei Tingyi had an easier quarter-final than Anna Muzishuk, in the sense that she had 2 no games with black. I mean, it means that she managed, due to theory, to neutralize her opponent's pressure without any effort. So on this, she is very fresh. And now, on the other hand, she had a very tense tiebreak. She has very tense games. All the match she was behind on the score. She just leveled the score on the 4th classical game. So probably she's exhausted.
But on the other hand, it's sort of a rebirth, you know? You're
true.
rising, and it could be her motivation, I think, and her ambitions right now are high.
Maybe. And her sister stays with her to help. There is the coach as well. So, I mean, now they are in the fighting, really in fighting mode. She's inside the... And she's a good fighter. She's tricky in the openings. They are doing good work from what I see. I mean, and this Petrov of Leiting, we will continue the debate on the Petrov. I hope that our Chinese friends are making good homeworks, because at the moment there is a problem. Anna is playing it quite well, I have to tell you. So we will see if she will play effortlessly, but I think she will have to work a bit Leiting. I mean, so
this is all, folks, for today. There will be a free day tomorrow, and we are waiting for you.
It's pity, because when I start to be in a good form, I have to go back to Paris.
But you see, it's like playing a tournament. First games are a little bit tricky, then 3rd, 4th game is okay, and like 5th game is a charm, yes?
Yeah, and when you are in good form, tournament is over. It's always like this. Okay, anyway, thank you guys, and for following. And there are plenty of nice games to follow, and we will have this debate on the Petrov defense, who is following. So stay tuned, and you will meet them.
Say au revoir.
Au revoir in French. Yeah. We say au revoir to everybody. Take care.